Greetings, traveler. You just landed on the Mikey and Me podcast. But fear not, for this is no mistake. No fault in the stars, no glitch in the matrix. I'm afraid this has all been planned. Predetermined by powers known not to us. So pull up a chair and join us as we find our way together, for you are among friends.
Happy day. Good friends.
What a happy day. We're back Saturday.
Yep, back to back. 2 weeks in a row. I feel like we need to take another vacation coming up here.
Yeah,
soon.
I know, right? I was kind of like, wow, it's already been a week.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to stick to 2 weeks. I'm kidding.
Once a month.
I'm back. I'm
once
happy.
a month quota. All right. How about you, Chris? You're back, but I don't know if you're happy anymore.
I don't know.
We'll try and fix that tonight. Let's fix that for once and for all.
Yeah, we're gonna try and fix a lot of things. 68 and cloudy in Bluff City County,
Montenegro,
Tennessee.
Where's Montenegro?
Montenegro,
Mozambique.
I think it is. Like out.
Wait, so
Mozambique?
No,
Montenegro's in the
Mozambique
Mozambique.
yeah, they're all in the
Montenegro's in Africa as well.
I think that's where they're playing the Speedway Classic tonight, and
I
it's
heard it's
supposed to be
going
in
great.
Bristol. I looked up the weather for Bristol, and it shows that it's perfectly fine. But if
Bristol.
you're watching the Speedway Classic game,
What game is this? I hear this game. I
you're
don't
going to
know
see
what
that
sport
it's just dumping rain. It's baseball. They're playing baseball between the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds at the Bristol Raceway.
So they got lost on the way to the
Tennessee.
ballpark, and they said, "Let's play here on this race car track."
So
They
they're playing on
decided
a track.
They're
What
playing
are they-
inside the infield, as they're in the infield of the Bristol Raceway, which most people probably know about. Some might not know, but because a lot of people
NASCAR
probably
races.
You're a
don't.
NASCAR fan.
Well, probably a lot of people don't know. Probably just because
I didn't.
the MLB is kind of notorious in a way for just not doing a great
Terrible
job
marketing.
of marketing their big events. This should have been and should be like one of the most watched MLB games of the season.
Yeah, like an all-star, even bigger.
yeah.
Like, yeah, that is, I had no idea it existed.
Unfortunately,
until you showed up tonight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, it is dumping rain, and they're doing the. If this was any other game, they would have called it. This would not. They would not be
They're
standing
really
around
holding out
like
hopes
this.
that-
All the players would have gone to the clubhouse.
because they know that they lost
Matt
so
Olson.
many people that they're gonna actually tune into this. Like, man, no rain last year.
Oh, dude! And so all the players
the nail
are
in
just
the
standing in
coffin.
the dugout. It's dumping rain. It's like the bless
Out
the
there
hearts
just
of the
sliding
grounds
around in the
crew,
water,
because the
just having fun like kids.
The grounds crew is out there like dumping fresh bags of dirt in these puddled up areas.
Have they
at short
tried
and
putting
second.
out the water with fire?
Yeah. Actually, that has happened at one place
Yeah.
where they did burn the field with gas.
They
or
need to get
whatever
the
they're
California
trying. They
team
did
over
that,
there.
That actually did that.
The Palisades
they did that,
team to go help them out.
They did that in Arlington back in the day at
Too
the
soon.
Arlington Stadium.
They
They
fought water
actually
with fire?
put gasoline on the field and burned it so that to dry the field up. There's other fields.
There's
that have
somebody
used
lost a job
helicopters.
after that.
Dallas Baptist, I think, at one point used a helicopter to dry off their outfield. They had a helicopter come in because they were hosting some big tournament, and since it was an NCAA,
I think they
like,
called that move
massive
the breath of
tournament,
God. Go on, get the bring it up.
It's like, yeah, you just save your special attack for the whole. It's like you call it in like one time. Breath of God special attack.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. No, it's been a week. It's Texas, and it's starting to feel like it, so that's good.
It is. You jinxed
Not really.
us. You
Not
jinxed
really.
us because last episode you were like, "Oh yeah, I don't even think we've had a day." where we
no, you're the
lifted."
one who
I think
had
that
to
was
bring up
me that brought that up.
the hot heat
No,
wave of
you-
the 1980.
It was Matt that brought that up. You were like, Matt brought up if we
I
go
might
back
have
and check the
said-
record.
No, I
Matt
think Mikey's
said-
correct.
Matt said we haven't even. It's been a mild summer and we haven't even hit the hundreds yet. And then, lo and behold, next week rolls around, bam, we hit 100.
I think it's because
I'm just
of
like,
the facts that you threw
Matt.
out there about Jimmy Carter causing that heat wave in 1980.
Jimmy Carter
was his
did.
fault.
It was his fault. And then George Bush got carried away with his weather machine, and that's why we have the weather that we have
Did you know
today.
George Bush hates black people?
He does not
That-
care
that-
about them. That's
Kanye
he
was
does
telling
not
me
care
something
about them.
That's what it was.
George Bush does not care about black people.
He's like,
Mike
hate him? No,
Myers
never.
is
He
like,
just don't care about it.
That was the greatest thing ever to happen on
And
television.
Mike Myers in
Because
the
Mike
background.
Myers just kind of standing there, like trying to be like,
Well, yeah,
okay.
he just looked at Kanye and then looked back
like,
at the
yeah.
screen and was like, and then they
this a
cut. The best part was after that they cut to Chris Tucker.
oh yeah, Chris Tucker.
And Chris Tucker is like sitting there like with his eyes wide
You're
looking
like,
at the
fuck
camera.
you want me to do?
Like, because he couldn't believe what Kanye just said. Then they cut to him, and he's
Man.
like, hey, and just goes into his monologue. But
No, that was
it's
a good Chris
been-
Tucker impersonation.
Been hotter than
No,
a three-balled tomcat this week. That's for damn sure.
it's always, I'm gonna say, the most, anytime we talk about the weather in Texas, the most cliche
Chris always
thing
brings
that
up three-balled
everybody-
tomcats.
No, the most cliche thing that everybody always says is that it's like, it's the humidity.
Is it?
That's what everybody always says.
I mean,
And
but is it though?
It is.
Yeah,
It
of
is.
course.
The humidity is what makes it so terrible. But it's just funny that every time you talk about
They
how
have to
hot
let
it
you
is,
know that.
everybody's like we bring the humidity up, and it's like, yes,
It's a
yes,
little
it's humid as
conversation
fucking
enhancer
balls.
for your small talk.
But if I say
you want
that-
to tune it up a notch, be like, it's hot. Oh yeah, it is. You know what? It's the humidity.
I should say it's humiditus out today.
Well, it's almost like
Humiditus. Would that be the word?
no.
Humiditus?
Well, it's kind of like
maybe.
the scene in Inglorious Bastards where they're in the bar. And
Where
he
he
does
beat him with the bat?
With
the
this-
orders like this, and so it's a way that you can
Street.
tell if
Yeah.
somebody's actually from around here or not. If they're an out-of-state infiltrator
If
coming
they
down here,
reference-
if they don't know about the humidity.
Humidity,
If you
yep.
start talking about the humidity, and they're
Yep.
like, "What do you mean?" And you're just like, "Pfft,
Go
Not
back to
even from
California.
here. Yeah, the fuck out of
gotta
here.
Go back.
"We got an infiltrator
Go
over
back
here.
to the Palisades.
Got an imposter."
There we go.
That's a callback. That's called comedy.
Let's
And
call
y'all
back
can
to
hit
about
me up.
2 minutes ago.
Y'all can hit me up if you want comedy tips. A lot of my tactics come down to CIA tactics, such
Called
as
just the tips.
mirroring. I mirror conversations, as Chris just said, just the tips. So I'll repeat that: just the tips,
Just the tip.
just the tip,
Just like Mike was saying.
just like
the tip.
Mikey was saying, just the tip.
It's a
It's-
psyop
it's a-
tactic.
It's a psyop
It's a
tactic.
psyop
It's a
tactic.
psyop tactic.
Be seeing
Project
you.
Mockingbird.
Project Mocking. And you've all witnessed
Now
how
we're
I've
in the
just put
algorithm,
two people
guys.
under
How's
my
it feel?
spell. Yeah. So you've just been a witness
My
to
brain
how
just got
things can
scrambled.
happen. We're gonna have to take a break
I think I
and bring
just
Matthew
peed
back.
all-
I'm gonna have to say
Yep.
Matthew's code word again. And we're gonna have to bring him back. But I want to talk about some things before we get into our mainstay and other stuff like that. We'll chat. We're gonna chat a bit, Matt, and we just all know
Let's
how
roll
much.
into speculation rate.
We're gonna pull into speculation station, so it's time to assume the position upon the wall of assumption.
I ain't got no legs.
Listen,
you know what?
Flip upside down and walk on your hand.
Okay, you son of bitch, you bring this up as I try to talk about something else. Allie and I watched that the other day. She
Major
had
Payne?
never seen that. She had never seen it.
What,
She had
I
never
want to know
seen
the
it.
exact time you're watching it so I can imagine what I was doing it, because I remember smiling out of nowhere and I figured there's something magical happening somewhere.
It was what night?
Was it when Friday night?
Friday night.
Yes, last night.
No.
Yeah, so it would have been last night.
No.
Was
No,
it when
not
she
Friday.
came over
Oh, last
the
night
house
was
or when
Friday.
you went to her house? So
No,
it would
was
have been
when-
Tuesday night.
When I went to Tuesday. On Tuesday night, we watched
Oh man,
Major
actually, I
Payne.
remember being in a pretty foul mood that night.
That's probably because you weren't watching Major Payne.
Dude, it's on
That's what it
Tubi.
was.
It's for free on Tubi, but she had never seen
Did
it.
she enjoy it?
Oh, dude, she was like, "This is pretty
Dude,
good."
it's
she
funny.
didn't. I told her I was like, "This is like what
It's-
really." I was like, "This is what really catapulted him," because before that he had Living Color, right? He was in Living Color before Major Payne.
Yeah,
And then-
he was in some other stuff, but that's probably
That was
for
his
me.
big-
That's his movie for me.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
exactly.
He did other stuff, but that Blank Man was before that.
I feel like that's what sealed the deal for him for a lot of
That's
other.
what got him a sitcom on
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
later on.
Yep. No, it's
Yeah, no, it's-
fantastic. She loved Major Payne.
I'm gonna cut a little rug back in my time.
He's like, it's a bullet from
I
my
told her-
heart. He's like, where'd you get it? From my heart. I
told her-
dug it out with my field knife.
Dude, that movie has so many great lines in
Dude.
it. Like, I told her when I was a kid, it's funny how, like,
somebody needs to
you-
kill it. No, sorry, Major, you killed them
gotta
all.
be somebody needs to kill it. Yeah. No, but I told her, I was like, it's funny how you watch movies when you're a kid, you fall in love with them, and then it's like you just, you quote stuff from movies and you
Oh,
don't really
yeah.
think about it. But I told her, I was like, I remember being a kid and singing the song whenever they were in the club doing the dance scene. He was like, hey,
Oh,
pop that coochie, pop
Yeah.
Two Live
that
Crew.
coochie, baby.
Yeah. Banned in 7 countries.
Yeah.
I was like fucking, I don't know, 10 years old, 9 years old, and I'm like, pop that coochie.
Yeah, dude.
And they're like, hey, whoa, what are you can't.
Dude, it's funny about that movie. I didn't, when I was not until I saw it getting older did I realize that for the,
All the
early
callbacks
scene
in it?
that they're making fun of
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse
Yes.
Now when he's cooking the rat in the room.
Yes.
As a little kid, I didn't know that's what that was
You have
making.
no idea.
Then I saw
And-
Apocalypse Now as an adult. I'm like, that's what Major Payne was making fun
So,
of.
and then the scene with where they hire Bam Bam Bigelow
Oh, God.
to come fuck him up.
yeah.
That is a nod to the movie Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood,
Which was
where
on your list here when
that
it
was
came
on
out.
where the guys paid the big bodybuilder to come
Yeah.
fuck him up, and then
So
he
Major
beat him
Payne
up.
was like a re-envisioning
And
of
then-
Heartbreak Ridge
Well, it was a whole bunch of different like movies, but then too,
with children.
when he's fighting with Bam Bam, and he tells him, "I'm gonna take this here
Bigelow.
left foot and put it
Yeah,
across the right side of your face."
Yeah.
That was actually from the movie Billy Jack because Bam
Billy
Bam
Jack.
responds
Billy
to
Jack
him.
bullshit.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, "Ain't nobody trying to hear that Billy Jack bullshit or whatever,"
Yeah,
and then he
see.
does it and kicks him, and so it was like, but yeah, there's. And I bet if I go back and watch it again,
There's
now,
even more.
It's like there's probably tons, but those are just ones that didn't get as a kid, but they were still hilarious. I just
Yeah,
didn't know
man.
why.
I think the very beginning is like one of the best parts whenever, not the very, it's like pretty soon in like the first 10 minutes whenever he meets with the dean of the school
Green
or whatever.
Boys.
Yes, whenever he's sitting there meeting with him and he was like, he mentions the Green Boys and then he's sitting there talking to him and he was like, just show me my men, sir. And he was like, who are you talking about? And he was like, the Green Boys, sir. And he was like, oh, yes. They're always hiding in the bushes. Like,
He's chasing the butterflies around the office with that net.
he doesn't even know the ROTC program. He just calls them the Green Boys because they wear camouflage.
Well, and you know,
Green Boys.
you know who Tiger was?
It's like I don't care what you do, just keep them out of my hair. Yeah, it was
Orlando Brown
yeah.
or whatever that like has gone full on psycho
as soon
now.
as we turned it on, Allie saw him and she was like, "Oh my god!" And then the teacher as well that he falls in love
Hillary
with.
Banks.
Yeah,
She was
Fresh
like, "Oh
Prince.
my god, Hillary Banks!" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's like the
"Yeah."
only movie that I ever remember being in.
Yeah,
I'm sure
me
she might have
too.
been in a couple
She
of
even said, she was like, "What happened to her? She was a smoke show. Why wasn't she in anything?"
Yeah,
else?"
I
Or
guess
like,
She probably got her
she was
money
in that and
fucked
didn't
off.
do well
Yeah,
enough. I
sounds
mean, she's hot, but I guess, yeah, I always liked Hillary.
she did a good job in that movie.
Yeah,
she
no,
did a
she
really
nailed
good job of
being
Major
the
Payne.
like, and a teacher watching it probably said she's believable as.
That's why I told her at first. She was kind of like, Major Payne, what? And I was like, trust me. I was like, there's a teacher role that he falls in love with. I was like, I think you're gonna like the movie. And sure enough, she starts getting in the first 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, like I like this.
How's she feel about Kindergarten Cop? That's the question.
Oh, we need to.
not Boys a have tumor. penises,
girls have vaginas. Wasn't that in kindergarten?
Get a headache and it's not a tumor.
Yeah, that's
Good
a
stuff.
great movie.
Watch Major Payne with the kids, your
yes.
girlfriend, with your grandparents, with your dog,
Everybody. My dad loves Major
with
Payne.
yourself.
One of the
yeah.
greatest scenes ever is when the daydream scene where he sees himself cooking and then like
With
the
the white picket
Viet Cong-
fence.
the
Oh, yeah.
Viet Cong comes up behind him and
Charlie.
he beats his ass and he drowns him in the pool.
baby pool and then burns his face on the barbecue grill. And they all laugh about it and eat hot dogs.
Oh, man.
Charlie.
And then he decides I'm going back to my men. But yeah, that was it. That was a little segue. I actually
I'm glad you enjoyed watching something with your wife, woman.
Well-
I was saying that because I actually started watching something with my wife that a new season of a show that keeps coming back, and I enjoyed it. The new Dexter Resurrection.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah. I mean, I'm not like a Dexter fan, but I've been in relationships where I've ended up watching it with, and so I've enjoyed it. Like,
You know what's crazy?
It's grown on me, like just what it is. You know, it's really like a dark comedy superhero show almost.
Would it shock you to know that I haven't finished Dexter?
I didn't even know you started it.
I've actually gotten pretty far in, I believe. I want to say, because how many? There's like 6 seasons,
Six
right?
or seven, I
Okay,
think,
6
yeah.
or 7. I want to say I got
6
into
probably.
like, I want to say I got a good like 3 or 4 seasons in. Like
Yeah.
after Dokes, I know what happens with Dokes.
Dokes. Dude, he was one of my favorite
like,
characters, dude.
Was he?
No,
man, he used to-
because I hated him.
Yeah.
He's annoying,
Yeah,
but
that's-
that's at the end of it. That's why I like him. He's like, "You creep, motherfucker."
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I liked how much I did
surprise,
like him.
motherfucker. That's
Yeah.
the one they use that for everything. But you know somebody else that did that was able to pull off that same type character was Christian Bale's portrayal of Mickey Ward's brother in the movie The
Fighter, yeah.
Where like I remember
Mark Wahlberg
Dickie
movie.
Ward.
Yeah, it was
Dick
Dickie
Eklund.
Ward was
or Dickie.
the fighter that he was portraying, but like he played that role so well that like I hated him throughout that entire movie. I was just like,
He's
dude,
such
get
a
the
piece of
oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
like what the? But then it's like he
Like
portrayed that part so well.
for me, it was just like comedy, just because it was just so absurd the way.
Yeah.
it really is a funny show.
But yeah.
But so yeah, the resurrection. It's
So before
yeah.
Didn't know that was a thing.
So
Yep.
all of that happened because I said before we get into our mainstay above the movies, I was going to chat.
called The
We were
Power
gonna
of a Conversation.
So we pulled into
Has
speculation
life.
station. So assume the position upon the wall of assumption.
take us there. That was our chat on the train. Now we're getting off the train.
Now we're at speculation station.
Where am I
it's
at,
time to
Mikey?
assume your position upon the wall of assumption, my boy. That's all of those sayings have been trademarked by the Mikey and Me podcast, and any usage of those trademarks without the express permission, consent, written consent from the Mikey and Me podcast will result in your imprisonment and in highly fining.
Punishable by law.
Thank you, my consigliere. Oh God, I almost blacked out.
Yeah. So where'd this train stop? Tell me. What am I looking at? What am I looking around?
Deep Ellum. It's a place in Dallas, Texas that all of us have loved and enjoyed, and there's many things, many great nights. I've spent a lot of time in Deep Ellum having a lot
It's basically
of fun.
a part of downtown, right on an edge area of downtown.
Yeah,
I'll
so
describe it
please-
as.
It's basically like the East Dallas, like the eastern edge.
About 2 or 3 streets, a
Heading
stretch
out
of a couple miles, right on the outer edge of downtown towards East Dallas for our global and national wide listeners.
Because there's not a whole lot of stuff that actually like. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a few places in
It's the
downtown,
closest
but
thing
downtown
to
is
a downtown bar scene.
yeah.
is Deep Ellum.
Downtown in Dallas is not really
Like
like there are
downtown,
bars, but it's like you're not like walking really from
Yeah.
one bar to another. It's like you're walking to one and then Ubering to the next.
So yeah,
and
that's
then,
I never
but the closest you
thought
can
it,
get is
but Deep Ellum is basically the downtown bar scene.
It is.
yeah.
For
the
what it's
closest,
worth.
yeah, the closest to a downtown bar scene.
Exactly, because like
So
Chris
what's
said,
going on
otherwise
there,
you're going to
though?
have to drive to a bar,
The City Tavern and all that. We're down
Yeah,
there,
which is
but,
not
like,
much. There are a couple
you know,
restaurant
and then-
bars that are.
But then outside
Um,
of that, if you wanted to go to anything else, you had to drive over to like what was it?
a few blocks.
Ross
a few
Henderson?
blocks over.
No, the what was it over there on Lamar,
Lower
south side
Greenville? Oh,
Lamar?
okay.
There was a couple of bars over, like there was like
Oh,
one
yeah,
tucked
yeah,
away
yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, and
South
there are
side of Lamar.
Adair's.
It's even down across
Yep.
30.
Which is part of Deep
Adair's
Ellum,
is
though.
Deep
That
Ellum.
was
Deep Ellum.
that's-
But either way, Deep Ellum has. Before we get into the current stuff, it's like we have between myself and Matthew and Christopher, we have probably
300 years of experience.
I would say 300 years of experience in the Deep Ellum area specifically. Think of it as a game server, and if you went and looked at our time spent, that's about 3 million years. Is how
Yeah,
many times?
round down about 300.
Yeah, 300. Yeah, exactly. But either way, it's like, so what y'all started going back when was your earliest memories of messing around in Deep Ellum?
My earliest memory of messing around. Well, I was
like
I was
being
in a
down
band in
there.
high school.
Okay.
So
high
to
school.
Go. Yeah.
How old were you?
Obviously, I was. If I might not have been, if I was just barely driving or right around 15, 16.
Probably
15,
our
16,
earliest,
17.
our earliest Deep Ellum memory was Matthew's 13th.
Yeah,
birthday.
the very first time. That's correct. That's true. That was
That
like
was
a
Deep Ellum
13-year-old
Live.
went to go see this Christian punk band.
Okay.
MXPX in 90 Pound West was playing with them.
90 Pound West.
And I'll tell you what, there's a little kid that it was a pretty punk rock show.
Was it? It felt good. It felt like. Did it feel like you were? It was cool.
Like there wasn't a lot of little
Fucking
kids
smelled
there
like it.
going to see.
It was a punk. It was a punk show. It was still like even all the punk shows
like
that I went
the
to.
90
like,
Pound Wuss lead singer.
Oh, yeah.
He. Or what happened? That one dude
he
who dove
dove.
off.
Yeah,
and
the
everyone
one dude-
moved. That
yeah,
was
there
just
was
a random
one
dude
dude-
stage diving.
Well, because the way
And that was crowd
like,
surfing, dude. It was a blast.
the way
man.
Deep Ellum Live was set up at that time was like it was almost like a shotgun bar type place where it was
Yeah.
like you walked in the door and like you could see the whole venue. Like it
Yeah.
was just like a single room and the stage like the door is at this end and the stage is at that end. So as soon as you walk in the front door, you can see the stage.
You're praying we don't have
And
a
there
great
were-
ride experience.
There were two bars on either side like that were kind of elevated, but basically the whole bar was like the mosh pit.
Yeah,
like
that's
in front of the stage.
Yeah,
and it was loud as shit. And yeah, that dude.
I think it might be the Bomb Factory now.
No, that was Deep Ellum Live.
I know. I'm trying to think, but what else has been either way?
No, it's never
yeah.
been the Bomb Factory.
Okay,
Deep Ellum
yeah.
Live and Bomb Factory like existed at the same time, but the Bomb Factory was right next door, I believe.
That's what it was.
But yeah, that dude stage dived while they were fucking playing, and it was so loud in there.
People had been like diving off and getting crowd surfed. This dude, for whatever reason, he was a little too aggressive. Yeah, and he staged over and like he did a rolled in midair, and everyone, I don't know, I think he was coming too fast. He wasn't, if you could jump in the crowd, he wouldn't do it smart.
And it was so loud in there, but I still remember hearing that dude's head hit the fucking floor over the fucking music, and he fucking somersaulted and jumped right back up and was just like fucking.
Yeah, I know. I have it's in my mind. I can see that happening still. Yeah. It was that crazy.
Yeah, because he was like skanking, like when he because he got up on the side of the stage and like kind of skanked around like behind the singer. Yeah, and then like got a fucking running start and like just like dove. I don't even think he put his hands out. I think he
that was the first memory. Obviously, it was like a one-time thing. I was a kid.
He's just like
probably like Chris's size or something. Maybe
I don't know. He was like, he was just like an average sized dude, but like he just
not catching you.
I mean, because that stage was 4 or 5 feet off the ground.
That was like 13, and then Deep Ellum played there some high school. Again, it was kind of an outskirts spot, and then I didn't really go there much at all until I was like of age. I was in college, and it might have been some random thing here or there, but like when I was young, it was just I didn't have
Lounge a lot. Like that was. I mean, that's Deep Ellum. Like,
I guess
spent
so.
a lot of time down there,
but it still was kind of just not in the heart, not in the meat of like walking up and down the streets type Deep Ellum.
Yeah, which is, I guess, we're still down there and like the ambiance.
But I wasn't afraid to go down there
nightmare
as a kid. Like my parents, like there wasn't anything like Deep Ellum. It's be worried. It seemed. It seemed quote unquote safe enough at that point in time, which was like 30.
Well, and on top of it too,
who knows?
Yeah, I mean, well, shit. When you were in high school, fucking
like 25 years ago, 27 years ago,
yeah, fucking 30. But yeah, I mean, but the thing about it too was like you weren't really all that far from your place either. Like a lot of people, that would like head down to Deep Ellum and stuff like that.
My dad lived
it was like close. You'd have to take a trip, to get down there. It was like honestly, we could leave Matt's dad's house and be at Deep Ellum in like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
like
10 minutes. Honestly, that's like parking and stuff.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just about as fast as running up to.
So yeah, that is a factor too. It's no more dangerous than what it was at my house every night.
Exactly. The intersection.
Hearing gunshots.
Gunshots in Toughness all night.
And I was just gonna say,
What about you, Mikey? When's your first memory?
Oh, I mean, I was probably 21. So it was like shit. I'm 33 now. So. That was my earliest menu. And my earliest. Well, hold on. No. Time out.
Here we go.
That was my earliest memory. Solo was 21. My outside of that, my parents used to go to 8 Airs all the time.
Yep.
And my impression of of Deep Ellum back in the day was not just was it 8 Airs, but it was just kind of like, Deep Ellum is. It's not any other part of the city I was at or had been to it automatically denoted to me because we would park underneath the bridge behind 8 Airs.
Right by 8 Airs, yep.
Yeah, you'd park under that bridge, and it was back in the day before they had like the scan the QR
Seminole
code.
honky tonk bar
before you had
the city.
Before you had the QR code. To scan for your parking back in the day, you had the little booth that you'd shove dollars in for your parking
dollar
spot.
Bills like barely wedged in.
Yeah, you know who owned that parking lot?
Star Parking.
Fucking P-Star, baby.
And
I know it's not P-Star, but it's the star with the
but that was my earliest memories was going down there to I was probably like when I'd go to fucking 8 Airs with my parents, I was probably like 11. 12 years old, 11 years old, going down there. And it was like, I used to play shuffleboard and eat burgers. And it was like, it was fun. But I also knew it was like, I can't go outside here.
Like I can't walk out back. I wish that it should have been a historic landmark.
Yeah. I mean, it's still there. It's not.
You know what's crazy about
still there?
You know what's crazy? Yeah. But what's crazy about 8 Airs that a lot of people don't know is
that racist song on the jukebox?
No.
Good.
Probably not on there anymore.
Is that bar was originally in like a speakeasy somewhere.
No,
In like
you talking about the original
Aders,
Aders?
the
original
the bar.
Aders was on Cedar Spring.
No, I know,
You're
but
talking
the
about
bar.
the
physical bar
Deep
that is in the
Ellum
current Aders.
It's made from a
Okay.
solid.
Started
a solid
at the
piece of
Aders
wood,
you're talking
one
about.
tree.
The way how they got it at that Ader, they moved it to the Deep Ellum one.
Yeah, they
But
started
how
out
it got
on-
to the one at Cedar Springs and all
So
that,
speakeasy,
before it got
like-
there, its life before there was like back in like the 19
Prohibition era.
13s.
Yeah.
It was like 1910, 1913, some shit like that. They had some speakeasy.
Crazy.
And that's where
I
that
wonder-
whole bar originally had its life. And then eventually it went to the Cedar Springs Aders. And then when they moved Aders to
That's
Deep
pretty
Ellum, they
cool.
moved it
That-
there. So that bar was originally like from speakeasy.
Yeah,
That's
I
history-
remember,
history right
well,
there.
and I
Yeah.
remember Daddy.
I can
always
tell you the
saying-
coyote ugly dances that been happening up on that bar.
Well, no, I remember
that.
Daddy always saying that like that they have like, if not the oldest, one of the oldest liquor license in the city of Dallas, because they used to sell like bootleg whiskey out the
That's wild.
back door during Prohibition. So they like, yeah, that place had been around for
So yeah, I
even
think we're gonna
before
do
he
our
was
next
born.
episode remote.
Yeah.
So
I
how's
haven't been
Deep
to
Ellum doing
Aders in
these days,
forever.
Mikey?
Do what, Matt?
So the Deep Ellum though, what's
I
going
know
on?
I'm getting there. We're
I hate
we're on our way.
Aders. That's
We
the
don't-
problem.
You
man.
know,
I don't like white people.
we're moving along. I know the mission. We're on the. Do you want me to get there?
Yeah,
faster?
I can remember when I was a kid going down there.
we're good.
To like, that was actually the Deep Ellum was where I actually had my first taste of beer when I
Where
was a
at?
kid in the parking lot at Aders.
Your dad gave you a beer in the parking lot?
Yeah, when I was probably
That's awesome.
5. I didn't have like a beer. It was like literally like a sip.
It's like,
out of
he's
it was a
gentleman gave me a
Coors.
shot of Jack
It was a
and a beer.
Coors. No, it was a Coors Yellow Belly.
The banquet beer,
But
right?
yeah, but I can remember. I can remember going down there, and
Good old Aders.
like back then it was like, I mean, if I was that young, that's like 87. And I have
Yeah.
memories like for several years, like through that time period of like going down there, parking where Mikey's talking about, but that's before they had fences up.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it literally looked like the movie Streets of Fire,
Okay.
where it was like it looked like a post-apocalyptic, like when you see those movies
Yeah.
of like seriously like shacks built out of
It looked kind of
fucking
like a
pallets.
shanty structured.
No,
out
it
of that
really
building
was,
somehow,
and they
didn't
would
it?
be out there. They would be out there around barrels, like, and then you'd see like the ambient
Yeah.
glow from the highway lights coming down, and like seriously, you'd just be standing there
Yeah,
in the
that
parking
is
lot
true,
of
man.
Aders and like
Pretty
look
good
across
picture.
there and just see it like less than 100 yards away from you.
Yeah,
just
it's like how does it
this.
say standing? Like what this?
Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, no, I have memories from down there from the time I
Man,
was
the
a
King
kid.
Bucks
I
were
spent
like a
my-
house band there basically for a
Yeah,
while.
I
it
spent
seemed
my
like.
21st birthday down there. That's
Like yeah, man.
Yeah, so it's
Like-
so everybody, so y'all between that time and now, like the experience we have between the times y'all have
I
spent
got my
down there and
nipples
the
pierced.
time.
I got my
that was
piercings
the,
there.
that was the
whenever
night I
graduated high
turned.
school.
That was the night I turned 21. That was
so
we went to
probably have, like,
Aders
30
and you
years
and-
worth of hanging out.
Oh, yeah,
like,
dude.
or between us, like
spread out different decades, kind of scattered here. and
exactly of like just being down around Deep Ellum, like because I remember I worked for Specs Liquor, so that was my background with Deep Ellum. I delivered to all the bars and restaurants and clubs and everything in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
I knew all the fucking people. Had to deal with waiting outside the bars for the people that showed up early and the ones that showed up way the fuck late. And it's like I saw it go through because my understanding of Deep Ellum when I was a kid, it's like we always hung out just at Aders,
Yeah.
but the rest of Deep Ellum was kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, you're in the downtown of a major city. It's not really a great place to just go walk the fuck
saying it
around.
was like fucking
Yeah.
homeless
Deep
camps
Ellum
right
wasn't
across the street.
Yeah, Deep
and-
Ellum in the day was not really. While there was more things going on, there was stuff you could go do, but it was not like the walk around. Let's be friendly. We're in just some nice
Yeah.
downtown area. Let's just walk around and
Yeah,
and bop
walk our
around
dogs
Deep Ellum.
and just go for a jog.
Yeah,
and
or
stuff
just
like
bop
that.
around
It
and
was
go
like you
bar
knew you
hop
were-
in Deep Ellum. You kind of like
You were
didn't.
kind of in a part of town where it was like, I'm not
trying to just walk the fuck around down here.
You didn't
Yeah.
want to be pulling a lot of cash out of your pocket in Deep Ellum, basically.
Yeah, and so it's
or
like
get caught at an ATM.
That's what Deep Ellum was whenever I always kind of knew when I was younger in the 80s and
I think
90s.
that's how it was when we
I knew
were
it was
teenagers.
like
I think it was too.
It was
We
like
were just oblivious to to it.
When I was going to say, and I knew that like there was a period of time because I talked to one of the owners who owned the bar Red Blood, the punk bar down there, which was across the street from Adair's.
Okay.
Like if you look at what's now the Twisted Route, there's a little tunnel that goes down the side of the Twisted Route and around the back, and there's a whole bar back there called Red Blood, and it was a punk. It was a punk bar.
That's cool.
And back in the day, it was a lot of punks and
that's
it was
Ellum
punks and
was.
motorcycle gangs, like clubs.
Yeah.
That was all.
And
it
so
was
it was
in
like
the
bikers
90s.
and punks were all that Deep Ellum was. So, and that's what that dude was telling me.
Tattoo shops. And
shit like that.
Like basically the red
subculture.
light, the red light district,
the subculture of Dallas, was almost
Yeah.
Deep Ellum. But then,
that's a good way to put it.
But then once eventually, it's like as I got older and around high school, it started to get better. But it still wasn't really anything to just go hang around. But then once I hit like 21, I was out working, delivering liquor with Specs, and we were in Deep Ellum a lot. And I just kind of saw it go through its expansion era where all of a sudden it seemed like every week that I was down there delivering to a place, there would be a new spot that was opening up. There would be renovations going on where there would be like redoing, like dumping a lot of money into shit.
Widening the
They were spending
sidewalks,
a lot of money.
His birthday, we went down there for like Caleb or Mikey's birthday, like just the family did to go eat at like what was that, Serious Pizza or whatever.
Yes,
down there
for Caleb's birthday.
Just as like not even going out like drinking or anything, just like
they had good
let's go
food
to
places
Serious.
down there too.
Yeah, because
So
Serious Pizza is like a famous pizza spot. That's a good point. Yeah, and so it's like we went down there for his birthday back in the day, and it's like, but all the other spots down there, I remember seeing these places pop up, and whoever was paying for them was dumping money into it because Deep Ellum was thriving, and there would, I had a lot of nights down there, and sure, there was times where you almost got into it with somebody, or you did get into it, but it never necessarily led to anything.
Where
exactly.
Large amounts of people are gathering, and
it was no different.
Kind of to be expected.
But the one thing that was nice
no more
about
than anywhere else.
The one thing that was nice about Deep Ellum, what was that, like 12, 11, 10? Yeah, because it would have been 12 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago, I'd have been 21.
Yeah.
So it was like between 12, 10, 11 years ago, Deep Ellum was dope. But over the years, it's kind of just started to trickle off where some of these like bars that were the mainstays and stuff like that have kind of gone away. Yeah. And with it has left the whole kind of the consciousness, the vibe, and the of what the people that used to go down there to Deep Ellum was. Almost the same way when they renovated Milo's. It's like you have the same name out front, but it's not the same bar.
Yeah, like the kind of soul essence of it seemed to be getting just turned into a little more of a manufactured, this try to commercialize thing, right?
Yeah. And so now it's like Deep Ellum, it's like they kind of, what's funny this is kind of a funny thing where you think about it, like when something really succeeds. Deep Ellum has really succeeded to the point where, okay, it's this place to be, right? So then unfortunately with it being the place to be, you get a whole fucking crowd of people down there that aren't really what the crowd of Deep Ellum originally was, because back in those days that I'm talking about when Deep Ellum was lit and it was the place to be, at the same time, Uptown was just as fucking lit. Yeah. Uptown was just as popular. There was just as packed, just as many people in Uptown, but it was a different vibe.
Crowd,
you had a different
college
vibe.
Yuppies type,
Club. Or if you wanted to be in a club environment with a bunch of
young
college
professionals
chicks,
and college kids from SMU type crowds,
go to Uptown. But if you wanted to be just kind of around like the average, everyday, regular person who didn't like club music, like live music, was into the more alternative types of shit and subculture things, then go to Deep Ellum.
Tattoos and piercings and
it was like, well, not even just that. It's
I'm just saying the fact that those existed
yes.
there speak to the vibe of it.
That's true. Yes, exactly. It was like, for sure. But that's where me and all of our friends found ourselves spending a lot of time. But now, all that to say, now what's going on is they're implementing it's on the brink of potentially being a curfew. So
because crime has gotten so bad.
Yes, crime's gotten out of hand. It's getting to the point where they have to now, and a lot of people from I was scrolling through comment sections, seeing what people kind of had to say. A lot of people were in disagreement with it, being like, "This sucks. This is shit." Blah 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 da da da.
Yeah.
But then there was other people that are kind of like who've maybe seen it go through the phases, like we
people
have. That
gotten
are kind of like, well,
in these crimes.
yeah,
We're talking
July
that,
5th.
yeah.
July 5th, there was a shooting, I believe, and it's like somebody died.
Less than a month ago, yeah. I just know it's one of those things to where I'd hear
Well, it's like
about
every
someone getting
weekend.
killed, and it's like when it's rare, it really stands out. But it's happened so much throughout the years to where it's almost like not even as reportable. It's
Well,
like,
and it would be
you know?
every weekend. There's always something, whether it's somebody like actually being killed. It was like, I feel like
Or
not
some
long
physical
ago,
or fights.
not long ago, I saw some story or something about some college age or not much older, like young mother, like down there,
Stephanie
like
had
with
a
her
friend
friends
that
hanging
died
out. They
down
got
there.
like just got like knocked
Yeah.
out. Like
No, when I first met Stephanie, actually, we went down at breakfast one day. They have what was that pancake coffee? What that? You have to
Cafe
remember.
Brazil.
No, not that one, but there was another one that they end up. It doesn't matter, but so there was a few chains of them. She had some friend who got like he fell like on the dart track or something and got
shit.
hit by the dart train. Like if he was out late and just being
Yeah.
something or another. But yeah, her friend Mikey, he actually like died down there. Like somehow, which
Yeah,
is,
it's-
yeah, dude, it's just even that
It's just
happening.
it's just gotten to the point where it's like it's just gotten to be like a part of town where like it has that reputation where like people just go down there and like while out, like act the fool,
Buzz
and
Brews
a
was the
lot of
place I was thinking
people,
of.
yeah. Well, and a lot of people will like knowing that go down there with
Yeah,
the
start
like,
shit.
hey, it's like
Yeah, oh.
not some of my proudest moments, but I've had nights like that in my younger
That
years with
unhinged,
like
wild
friends,
aspect
like
is, like, just drawing more of that to
wanting
it.
to like go out somewhere where
Yeah,
you shouldn't
get
be,
turned up.
and see like,
Start
hey,
some
what's
shit.
gonna happen? It was like I bet somebody don't say something
like,
to me.
like Mr. Durst said,
Like-
break
Yeah.
stuff. You know?
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean it's like,
Don't-
and that's what's happening a lot now. Is
So
it,
it's
but
curfew.
the
Yeah, tell me more about
So
this.
right now it's like what's going on. Their first like wave of the measures they're taking to try and save Deep Ellum and deter some of this activity is they are at like 10 o'clock they're shutting down Deep Ellum to through traffic, so you can't drive your car in there and park whatever. It's like so
Like
at 10
10 'cause
o'clock
they're
they
putting
shut
the
it
cones
off
up basically with cops at
Exactly,
the
there'll be
end.
Well,
cops
there's-
standing out there like probably at Good Latimer, at the end of Good Latimer,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there where Elm Street and Commerce and Main are. They're
Yeah.
probably going to be block offs, and then the same thing likewise up on the other end, just on the other side of Terry Black's. I bet I can't remember what that street is right there because it's where Dallas Comedy House is now. I'm sure from there all the way down to Good Latimer,
Yeah.
they're going to have all that blocked off to where you can't drive through. Which, in the reason some people, I was seeing
they've
people the
had
way
that
they've
forever,
reacted
though,
to it.
the no cruising, like for as long as I can remember, kind of like they do on Harry Hines, where if you pay attention, there's signs all throughout Deep Ellum that it's a no cruising zone. Where like if they're paying attention,
But that's one of
to,
those things.
like,
How enforceable is that?
I mean, it depends. Like, there's people that go down there for the express intent, like I say, of riding
cruising.
around, showing off their car.
Yeah.
And it's like if you see the same distinct car riding up and down the street 5 or 6 times, it was
Yeah.
like the cops could they have it posted that it's like a no cruising zone
Yeah.
anyway. But apparently that's done jack shit, and now they're getting.
So
Yeah, I
Hugh
don't know
Lewis
if-
and
I don't-
Gwyneth Paltrow
yeah, I don't know
would
it has.
want to
I don't know
avoid
if they
doing that together down there.
Do what?
I made a joke that probably no one's getting.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. No,
There's
yeah,
a
I
song
don't know.
called
I haven't.
Cruising that Hugh Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow. That's bad.
Yeah, no, I haven't noticed or whatever the no cruising signs, but yeah, I'm sure they would probably have.
They've
little
always
no
been
effectiveness.
Yeah.
Because of just by that, I never paid attention to them.
Yeah.
But either way, they've closed. Regardless, the signs I guess haven't worked if they're down there.
No.
And
Yeah, not at all.
now they're
there's
going
your
to.
sign.
Now they have to. They're going to be putting up blockades and stuff to block traffic coming in and out of Deep Ellum. And after that, if that doesn't work and shit's still kind of getting out of hand, then at that point they're going to start to put a curfew on Deep Ellum where bars and stuff like that would be forced to close at midnight. and any bars or any places, businesses
Dude,
that wanted to
that's so
stay
much
open,
money
that wanted to
that
stay
it'd
open
be-
past midnight. If you're a bar or restaurant or a business that wanted to stay open past midnight, you would have to apply for like some special permit to stay open.
So I feel like
Elm
this is a
Street
threat
Tattoo
to
would
the
probably be able to
seriousness
get
because
one.
I don't see them actually. I don't see it getting the points where they actually get that to
They
pass. 'Cause
technically
the business,
shouldn't.
You know how much?
I know
how much
because
money. Like some midnight to 2 on weekends
It's
is
wha-
probably some of the most.
it's whatever gives first.
Yeah.
If it, so, what this
What
is
has to
doing,
be
in my
passed and
opinion,
voted on then, right?
What this is doing,
No?
in my opinion, is the city is taking a stand and they're doing something because they have to because of
Yeah.
the amount of crime and the people now. There's people that have been killed. There was another shooting that happened where 2 people got arrested.
What the laws
there was
are
another
allowed
shooting
to do that.
To do what?
To just enforce that there was kind of
They can do
stipulations in
that. They
business.
can do that but the curfew
It's city
thing,
streets, though. It's not like
the curfew
they-
thing is a little different. That's a thing they have to take a further step for
Yeah.
before they put. But right now, this is their prerequisite to being like, if we don't call this like activity, then we're implementing a curfew. And
Yeah.
at that point, if you're a business that wants to stay open,
Man.
unfortunately, what it's going to do is a lot of businesses are probably going to be like, I'm fucking out, and they're going
Yeah.
to move to a different part of the city. Or they're
Or
going
they'll
to
just dump the
apply for their,
investment and just be like, okay, well, that was great while it lasted. You know, just
or they'll
cut the
apply for a
losses.
license or their permit to
Or
stay open.
I wonder too if it's a way for this, like, and I'm not like, I'm just devil's advocate
Make more
here,
money
but
by-
no, well, like what I was thinking, like just while you were saying that, was that I wonder if it's a way for the city to low key initially apply pressure just with the we're going to shut down the streets
See, that's
in
what I
and
was
out,
thinking.
after 10 p.m.
And hopefully
next
it
step
doesn't
is
come to
this.
the next thing.
Like you all need to start policing yourself down here. And so it's like, obviously if they're going to be shutting the streets down at 10 p.m., you're going to have an increased police presence, which I mean, I don't know what the police presence is like down there
It's
now,
already
but it's
pretty-
always when I was, like when we were younger, it was like, it seemed like they were always
Whenever
down there.
whenever I was 21 and stuff, that you would see them here and there, there'd be like maybe 2 to 4 cops down there at any time to patrolling the 3 streets.
Man, I
Whenever
feel like,
I was going
I
down
I feel
there,
like the last few
But-
times. I
but
feel like
now-
the last few times I went, it was like
Now-
they'd have fucking side streets blocked off and stuff like that.
I was going to say
like
that's how it is
barricades.
now for sure. Because when Matt and I went down there for Alex thing about a year ago, there was
Yeah.
cops everywhere. So like,
Yeah.
it's been something that
But it's
they're
crazy
definitely
because
trying
they've
to.
been there and it's still a problem.
I
That's
just
the
wonder
thing,
if I just
right?
wonder if them doing that is a way of them being like, okay, look, there's going to be an increased police presence in the area on top of what there's already been. You all start policing yourself as well, and there will be people down here to help you. But like, don't just rely on the cops to come, bail you out. Like, don't
yeah,
let-
I think that the effort is being that could be policing yourselves maybe, but like I see the effort as being like mainly being to send the deterrent to where it's like, who the fuck wants to go hang out around a place with a bunch of cops?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Like
course,
that's
there's
the
that.
main thing is that it's like they're putting it out there to where it's like, okay, if I can't drive my, like you said,
plus
if I
all the
can't
people
cruise
that
my
get
car,
there after 10 anyway, they're
if I
just
can't-
like,
because
go
you're
there.
pre-gaming.
what I
like-
was going to say, if I can't cruise my car up and down Main and Commerce and Elm, then, okay, so I'm going to have to park and go to a spot. And 2, apparently a lot of dudes are parking at parking lots and just hanging out, not even going anywhere, just parking in lots down there and
Call
chilling.
that parking lot pimping.
They're doing that down there where they're not even going anywhere. They're just pulling up at a parking lot, hanging out, chilling, and then they'll fucking just chill for a while, hang out, drink, I guess, and then dip, go somewhere.
That's fine.
So like really what this is going to do is make it to where it's like you're going to need a reason to be down there. You want to go to
Yeah.
a bar, you want to
Or
see a
as a
show,
show, yeah.
You want to, and so
You have
it's
to
like
go out there casually, just like, oh, let's go to Deep Ellum. It's like, no, you have like a planned reason.
So hopefully hopefully, and I'm sure, I imagine this shit will probably work to kind of rein in some of that.
Yeah, I just like I said, it's kind of saying it's crazy because even though like my experiences, I didn't experience didn't have like fear or whatever,
Yeah.
but there being bad crime there is like something I'd always hear throughout my life. Whether it's
You've
my
always
parents or
known,
somebody,
yeah.
they'd be like, oh, they would associate the culture, but then there'd be crime. So I just feel like it's always kind of been some staple, something associated with Deep Ellum my whole life, regardless.
Yeah, it's never
and it's
been
just,
a-
I'd say it's
yeah.
sad. I'm just saying, it's disappointing to see to where it's that kind of problem, and it's where it's like, okay, it gets bad, and I guess maybe it gets better a little bit, and then there's not crime as bad for a stretch of time, and then do they let off the gas, or the times
Yeah.
and the natural cycle of people and culture
Yep.
and groups flow? But it's kind of sad
and
to where
think
it's like
about it.
it's almost like it's coming.
Yep.
Well,
There's
it's
nothing we can do to
cyclical. It's-
actually try and put
And-
like a hard stamp on it. You know,
Kind of like what happened on Lower Greenville too. I mean, Lower
Yeah.
Greenville was the same
Oh, it
thing.
got out of
where
fucking
Lower,
hand.
cities
Lower
and
Greenville-
budgets.
That's a
and
good
It all
point.
comes down to city
Lower
budgets
Greenville
and crap.
was
I think.
because that was where we spent most of our time.
Yeah, we were
was,
down there
like,
more than
Lower
Deep Ellum,
Greenville.
yeah.
Like that was where
'Cause
we
they
were
had, like,
really
the-
kicking it, but like
the bar,
it got.
without
But
the
then it started
live
to get
music.
crazy down there.
Yeah,
you know?
didn't Caleb talk about that dude getting stabbed at that timeout or OT tavern down there or whatever?
Yeah, somebody got that
Like-
used to be
Yeah.
oh, what was that one? Yeah, it used to be something else. It was that sports bar.
Yeah, OT
Well,
tavern. I
before
think
it
is
was
what
that
it
there was the like the Viper Lounge or something.
Yeah,
it was like the
it's-
one right there on the corner.
like we're Red Jacket. Around
Yeah,
Red
Red Jacket. That's
yeah.
what it was. It was Red Jacket.
'Cause I'd seen
is what it
some,
used to be. But yeah, no,
electronic
like
art,
all
artists
when
there.
Matthew was in like college and stuff
I
like
think I
that.
saw Oakenfold there actually.
We would spend a bunch of time down on Lower Greenville, and then Lower Greenville, like towards the tail end of us being down there, which is funny because it's like it kind of coincides with those like rises and falls in other areas. When
Yeah.
like Lower Greenville started getting shitty, was when Deep Ellum
Deep
was
Ellum.
like more nice, and you wonder
It's
if it's
like
like
if those
they
people are
drive the
going
bad
there and
element
they're-
out of one area,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, fuck it, we'll go down to Lower Greenville. And it's like, because I heard in
Probably,
the
yeah, I
last
felt like
several
that's
years
probably a
that
factor.
Uptown was kind of like that. I know for a
Uptown-
while it seemed
then they
Uptown
like
just
has
I'm
price
died.
them out. Then,
Uptown
well,
and
no,
Deep Ellum
Uptown
have
got
both
hoodie
like,
for a minute. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I was
Oh,
hearing
it
a bunch
did.
of stories
It
from
did.
Uptown like
Really?
over the last several years.
Uptown
that,
got
like,
bad. Uptown just got bad where it was a lot of fights. There was some chick that got hit by a car down
Yeah.
there and killed. It got
That was
it
in the
got
last-
and now
yeah,
in a
yeah,
lot of the
that's crazy.
bars that are there. And so the thing is though, like Concrete Cowboy, for instance, like I used to deliver liquor, and that bar that I deliver liquor to, Concrete Cowboy, it was more like a club.
Yeah.
But they would literally that order would occupy either an entire van or half of a box truck. You
Yeah.
would have like that much
That much
liquor. It
liquor
would be
going to one
cases
fucking
and
spot.
cases and cases
Yeah.
of Viking Fjord vodka, Tito's vodka, and it would be cases upon cases of beer. It'd just be vodka, beer, and whiskey, like fucking Jack Daniels, cases of it. But they were like the most popular spot down there. And now what they've done is I don't believe their Uptown location that exists anymore. They're in Frisco now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
saw the writing on
and
the
they're
wall.
smart,
They were
like, and they're
take
cool
the money
guys.
and run. Go to
Yeah.
a different
Yeah, dude.
spot, like
Yep.
set up and do the same operation somewhere
Exactly.
else.
Same shit you were doing in
Yeah.
Uptown, do it in Frisco now. And they're not, they're doing a good operation as far as I understand, but it's like,
Unfortunately,
it's,
that's what's going to happen with
exactly.
the Deep Ellum
And,
shit
but
if-
my hope is,
on top.
I think what's perfect, and I don't know what, if I was I don't know, some kind of fucking mogul or somebody who could pull strings or do
Developer or
something.
something?
Not even just developer. I don't know. You will know once I say it, but somebody who could pull the strings that it's like, Lakewood, East Dallas area is the perfect area for artists, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, right
It is
there
the
by freaking what's it
perfect
called?
area.
The Lakewood Landing.
Yes.
That strip.
Yes.
Like,
where Buzz Brews
Buzz-
was,
yeah, I
and then
know.
it was
It's
Tipperary.
Skillman,
I know. I
Live
feel
Oak.
like that whole
Tipperary,
block
then
could be like
Buzzbrews.
turned into.
Talking about
Dude.
Skillman and Live Oak.
Yes,
Yeah, gas.
Skillman, Live Oak, all of that area, dude. That is all of that whole neighborhood to me is perfect for that type of vibe because all of the people down there that live in that East Dallas area, they're all pretty artsy.
But I feel like
They enjoy.
Personally, I'm happy with it just the way it is. I feel like I would be afraid of it becoming more than it is, if anything, maybe.
I agree, but my thing is too. Again, it's like making it.
Because
I
Cosmos and the
agree.
landing there, I think 2 bars there is good. They're both dives, like probably a couple of the best dives. You
I'm
can
not
go
gonna
to.
lie. I don't want it to change. I want it to stay the same. I want it to stay
more
our
love,
little.
maybe.
I want it to stay our little slice of like unknown heaven where people
Yeah.
don't know, and it's almost like you love pulling up there and seeing the landing, the way it looks and everything, and nobody there, and just the people that know
just
about it.
Walk by late
there.
at night and you get that patio and there's people smoking cigarettes and
Dude, I can't tell you how much I'm right there with you, but also too, on the other hand, if you think about, you know, if you can create the right type of vibe to where it's like the only people that are going to be over there are those same type of mentality people is my thing. Not making it a club area, making it the area, the part of town where it's like, if you want to see live jazz, if you want to see live indie music, if you want to see live,
basically add a couple like fitting
rock,
live venues down there, basically.
or something, or that can places that can accommodate live music.
Yeah, like a bar,
like the same way the All Good Cafe or whatever in Deep Ellum, something like that.
Just add. I agree with that. I can see that. Just like add the live music element, just tastefully. Yeah.
And I think it would be perfect for the reason I say that isn't for any other reason outside of giving the artist a shot in a spot to be, because I know Deep Ellum is a big place for artists. It's a lot of people make a living down there playing at some of those spots, and to think that your area where you're making a living now is becoming more cumbersome for people to come see you, that kind of sucks. And also, if it's more dangerous for you and your people down there, it's like you don't want to be down there. And so it's like, you know, I just think I've had the thought where it's like East Dallas is kind of perfect to me. Because, you know, like I said, I just feel like the consciousness of the people over there is more.
I'm so happy I grew up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I am too. Because had you not grown up there, I probably wouldn't have had as much time spent around there either. Because it's like I've grown to love it quite a lot. Did you know we saw your dad the other day?
No.
Yeah, we could take a quick break before Chris comes back.
Sounds good. No, I didn't know that.
Get back. Yeah. We saw Pops.
Does he owe you money?
Oh no, dude, never owes me money.
We'll give him a call.
Owes me nothing. Greetings, traveler. We are back. This is not the beginning. You've already been listening. Your podcast has not
about
skipped.
4 hours in.
We're about 4.5 hours in. Matthew
coming up on the first curve here.
Matthew's like, come on, hurry up, Mikey.
I know, being a dad, man. Being a dad, being a father, getting a job.
We're not on a road
where you have
trip.
to commute.
So we're gonna go ahead and get the Wheel of Rama, roulette, Reel Roulette.
We got the gun loaded. Chris brought it this time.
Do you want to
brought
spin it? Do you want to spin the wheel before we get started?
Chris, that's what they call me.
Do we want to spin the wheel before we get started?
You know what? It might be smart to go.
Let's spin Reel Roulette before we get started in this year's What You Should Watch.
Did you do a nice 1950 recap to know what was going on?
Yes. Because
I really like that you did that. I like learning more about why Jimmy Carter was useless president.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been useless since the 50s. That's actually what he's going to tell you too. In 1950, Jimmy Carter still sucked. No, actually, he was actually a fucking war hero. Honestly, I think he saved a bunch of dudes from like a burning ship or something.
What?
In World War II? No, Jimmy Carter was a legit war hero. He was a crap president, but he was a legit war hero.
Yeah, the year was 1950. Your president was Harry S. Truman. He served from 1945 to 1953. Thank you, Mr. Truman. We support you.
For your service.
Your country, many thanks, many blessings to your family and its descendants for your service upon this country. And that should bring great respect to you and your family. Spoken from a man with a champion spark plug hat and a NASCAR shirt hat on.
Truman's the one that gave the speech about the military-industrial complex, I think.
He is. Shout out Truman. Thank you for trying to be the original Alex Jones and give us a shout out. Don't worry, I have more information coming up.
And he's got the 50s. It keeps getting the 50s.
1950 key events included the start of the Korean War.
We finally hit the year 2000.
Wow.
There we go.
In 1950, key events included the start of the Korean War, the rise of McCarthyism.
It was actually only a conflict, thank you very much, but
in the United States, and introduction of the first credit card. Additionally,
the Mikey and me card.
How'd you know?
I was there.
Okay.
We're time travelers, actually.
Additionally, the the McCarran Security Act passed, and the comic strip Peanuts debuted.
Penis.
Korean War, McCarthyism.
McCarthyism,
Diners
that was
Club
the,
card. The Diners Club card introduced the first credit card, allowing cardholders to make purchases at multiple establishments.
Man.
You remember the commercials?
The beginning of the credit card, huh?
You remember the commercials for Diners Club when we were kids?
Man,
like on TV.
Diners Club. The word. It's like I remember it, but I don't remember it.
I just
remember because I
like
know
them
it.
laying
I'm
the
familiar
card
with Diners
on
Club,
the-
but I don't really remember.
I don't have-
it other than just being familiar with it.
I don't have like vivid memories of it. I just remember like commercials of them, like it was like being at a restaurant and like laying the card down.
Get your
You're just
Diners
like,
Club.
I'm a Diners Club member.
Get your wife a steak
Also,
tonight.
another
Diners Club
again,
card.
the Peanuts, the comic strip. That was a huge thing. Charles M. Schultz, iconic comic strip Peanuts, first appeared in newspapers.
What was the stinky one's name again?
Pigpen.
Pigpen.
That's you. That's
Pig Pen.
That's a dirty pug.
Pig
That's
Pen
our
pug.
dirty pug Lily.
No heat waves that year, huh?
In 1950?
I don't think it broke 90 and all throughout Texas
For 1950.
for 1950
if you
years.
give me one moment, I was not as prepared this week as I was last week.
No, it's okay.
For this segment.
Oh, yeah,
do
you're asking
apologize.
Chat GPT
I'm gonna have
to
some-
hallucinate something
no,
fun?
No. I'm
Give me 1,000 fun facts from 1950. I'm pretty sure you'll get some gems in there. Like it's like that's what you do. Come up with questions knowing that they're like the most likely to get a hallucination from.
Lily, what you doing, girl?
Kind of like whenever I remember whenever
Oh,
you're
gosh.
first getting AI, like you asked us about 100 stories or something. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, and you saw it was listing ones. And you looked up and they like books of stories that didn't exist or something.
This is
public
interesting.
domain stuff.
Oh yes.
Because you gave it too wide of a net,
Yes.
so we're like,
And it was like, I don't know, man, figure it out.
yeah.
Like,
It was like, why? Who wants to care?
I don't know. Okay, so in 1950, January 6th,
That was
In
the sixth day of
1950.
the year.
United Kingdom formally recognizes the People's Republic of China, promoting
The PRC.
Chiang Kai-shek's government to, hey.
That's when they started making their AI. Now we have DeepSeek.
No, I think they killed all the
President
birds first.
January
We have
31st, President
Kimmy.
Truman orders programs to build the hydrogen bomb.
Pogroms?
Sharply escalating the nuclear arms race.
Dude, hydrogen bomb. Ain't no joke.
President Truman.
Here's the truth.
Senator Joseph McCarthy's infamous 205 committee's speech in Wheeling, West Virginia, launches nationwide anti-communist investigation.
The Red Scare is upon us.
Did you know? Did you know that communists aren't afforded rights under the 1964 Civil Rights Act?
Sounds, hey, you got my vote.
They specifically mentioned communists
Guys,
in there, that they're not like communists aren't because communists
hide
aren't
your
people.
communist cards, guys. We don't want them.
June 25th, North Korea invades South Korea, making the start of the Korean War. Within days, the UN, led by the U.S., intervenes.
Yeah, I did a paper on that war in middle school.
My
What
grandfather fought in that war.
Yep, he was a.
Don't even bring
machine
that
gunner.
war up.
What was that line? What was that? What's
The
that? like?
38, the
Parallel,
38th parallel, or
yeah, 38th parallel.
That's like, I don't know if it still is, but I know for a long time it was the most
was there
heavily.
like a treaty or an agreement that came out of it? I'm trying to remember that it's largely associated with it.
Yeah,
My eighth grade a paper. The main thing I remember is that we called it a war, but it was actually a conflict because no war was ever declared.
Yeah.
It was one of those things.
well, we haven't declared war since World War II.
War on terrorizers.
That actually wasn't declared properly either.
he
It's
misdeclared that.
Well, it's
That
supposed
doesn't
to be,
count, Mr. President.
It's supposed to like go through an official act of Congress.
Yeah, it's supposed to
before
get the
you
auto
declare it.
pen working on
it's
that.
like, yeah.
So a lot of things happen in the way of war in 1950, but To try and lighten the mood during all of this war, they started to release some of the greatest films ever in 1950. They said, we understand that everybody's being shot at, so here's some amazing flicks with some of our best films. Some of our best talent the world has to offer, because not half of them are out fighting, being shot at. Thespians. Amazing.
All right, man. Well, let's start. What's some great film, huh? Landmark year.
You ready for landmark year?
Here we go.
Okay, so we just outer space.
Do you want to? And just for my clarity, to help me, you want to say the ones you watched when they overlap with? Because you got a list.
I'm going to
say
the one. I got a couple, and I'm gonna,
So just go through your list and then be like, oh, and I watched this one or didn't. And tell me if you want to pull up a trailer for the ones that you didn't watch.
We're pulling up trailer for all of them.
All right.
Bro, there were like 4 movies in 1950.
I know. Yeah.
Like, we're going to be mad?
Do you know me, Michael?
Yes.
The Flying Saucer, 1950.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you watch this?
No.
Oh, come on. You didn't even fucking watch
This
it.
is before sci-fi was
You
good.
didn't even
I'm joking.
fucking watch it.
And
it was the birth of
Flying Saucer, 1950.
You're not even a sci-fi
Talk about
fan.
a word that's gone the way of the buffalo. Saucer.
Slowly.
Dude, this movie here,
All right.
pins and needles.
When's the last time
Wait,
you
no,
asked
here's-
for a saucer?
The movie trailer. I asked for sauces at least twice a day.
Give me this plug.
Oh, there's Lily.
They shot this one in black and white for artistic reasons, right?
Yeah. No, purely for artistic reasons. The human mind could not comprehend Technicolor at this time. Sweet. This is the red
Streaking
band.
out of
This is the red band
They
trailer.
call him the streak.
This is the red band trailer.
That would be awesome. My pimp hand is strong.
I just took it off the charger.
For this week, Mikey, we have a rule that you can't use Tubi for any of your viewings.
Of course, most of these are
Mikey's like, I quit the show.
a lot of imaginative people, some neurotic, some just plain liars.
Wait, you say erotic?
All the flying saucer.
I think you said neurotic.
No, I choose. I'm cognitively reframing that to something else.
Some experts, commercial and Air Force pilots also claim to have seen it. You're not
Let me
trying
light
to tell
this
me you
flick.
really believe there's a flying saucer.
Here is the dramatic story that rips
He's about to push him into that blade.
Yeah, I saw Indiana Jones.
They just did that
He's
stunt.
like,
in
your
the
hand got to be
Mission
quick,
Impossible.
though.
What are
Be
they?
like,
Where do they come from?
Dude, where'd they get this footage?
Yes, I do, but the
Area 51.
where the saucer was,
Where is it?
to the side ice cap.
Tell it. Dude, they knew.
Thrills. That Tommy gun Chopper got to
They
spitting on that motherfucking
Shooting that
alien.
ice with the Tommy gun?
Boy, that Chopper got to spitting on that motherfucking ET.
That's what
True Magazine says the flying
45
saucers
ACP
are
will do to
real.
a mountain.
Now see for yourself. Nice, good classic, you know. Looks like what
It's on Tubi, if you're wondering. You can check that out.
Flying
That
Saucer,
shit's on
alright, man.
Tubi.
What else is worth checking out?
Winchester 73.
Dude,
Look it up.
This was on my list to check
Was
out.
it?
Good job. Yeah,
Shut up.
I didn't get to it, but it's
You
on my
didn't?
list. You did come on. But you did watch this one?
Yeah.
Tidal wave of terror.
Yeah, I got the 1.5 movies.
Monster from the
That's not how you spell it.
attacks the world of man.
Dude, you don't need to learn how to spell things correctly anymore. Don't you know that?
Yeah, you're not always going to have a
You
calculator.
get the first and
Sita's gonna grow up very well spelled.
She's going to be so good spoken.
She's gonna speak still. Hooked on phonics work for me. I need to find a
I
shirt
thought
of
about
that
it's
on
funny.
eBay.
I thought about that shirt the other day.
Got a gadzooks.
'Cause I brought up the word phonics for some reason. I can't remember why I would ever bring that word up, but
The Star Wars, dude. Star Wars is where they got it from.
Yep.
The scrolling intro, whatever.
this is what I was really hoping.
Winchester
that
73.
Winchester 73 was about. That's awesome.
It's about a
Seems they knew all
The
about
Rise
your
of the
Springfield
Winchester.
in
It's about
single
a
shot.
fucking rifle.
You mean they had repeaters?
Yeah.
You know who that guy is?
Oh, Jim Stewart. This
Yep.
Dude, this was on my list.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, we got
he's in
two
a couple movies this year at least.
You want the moon? Well, I throw a lash all
Yeah,
around
there's
him.
a movie called Harvey that is.
A weapon that promised
He's the guy from It's a Wonderful Life.
Thank you, Mikey. And he's incredibly old.
I'm Jimmy Stewart. I'm incredibly old.
James Stewart,
Sergeant York.
whose personal feud led to
Sergeant
one of the
York's
grimmest
Lonely
manhunts
Hearts Club
ever
Band.
filmed.
Dude, do you know they use the most live ammunition rounds for a gun scene in the middle of a downtown in Michael Mann's Heat?
As vicious Waco Johnny
Winchester
who
73.
killed to get the gun. Stephen McNally. Deadly.
That's actually true.
Yeah, Heat actually
think it's an
just
AI
uses the sound.
hallucination.
Heat just uses the sound effects from this movie for the gun cuts.
It's like the Wilhelm scream.
I don't tell you.
You can't pour that for sure.
This is the hand I shoot with.
What was that? What?
Where is he? Where is he?
Jim Stewart going hard in Payne.
I know how to use it.
No, get.
You're sure you do, woman? Why are you pointing it at me? Get your finger off the trigger.
The rifleman. You'll remember Winchester 73? That's a glowing review. Oh, Steve McNally. Good stuff, man. No, that was on my list of things to check out.
Oh, I'm
Out
sure
of
it
380
was. I'm kidding.
flamethrower
I need to turn
operators
off. I
on
need to turn
Iwo
off.
Jima, only
How did I turn
18
the setting off?
Does this,
Autoplay.
No, keep
up
going.
at
It's
the top.
It's fine.
Or no, it's down there at the bottom, right there next to closed caption. That.
all right,
you.
next movie, Treasure Island. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Is this
Jamie.
The Rock?
Treasure Island. Yes, exactly.
Look at our sweet pug.
Look at this sweet pug, by the
Look
way.
at
We
this
have a
sweet
sweet
pug.
We're the
Did you
owners
guys
of
see
the
this
sweet
pug?
Look at this pug.
Look at this pug.
Look at
That
this
pug is quite sweet. Smoky sweet.
smoky sweet
Smoky
pug.
sweet angel
She's
pug.
our sweet cheese.
Whoa, they colorized it.
She's our sweet
They did what? That's pretty problematic. Yeah.
Man, come on, dude.
I think Matthew means reimagined.
colored
They
this
reimagined
movie.
it. They made it for Netflix, is what you're.
They melanized.
Is that
So we
John's-
no, but
Yeah.
they actually
John Goodman?
this
John
did not.
Goodman, yeah,
This
for-
was not in color when it came out. There's no. Don't think any movies.
Play
from
that. Play the.
might have been, actually, though.
boy.
All 1950 movies.
It was in color, old boy. It was. It really was.
I've actually got to look
We
at-
had the budget for it then, old pal.
No, I gotta know this. For sure.
Yeah, it was back when Disney was balling.
Never, never, never has the screen
scrolling text,
presented
dude.
a
It
more
wasn't even original. Look at
exciting,
this. They did
a more
scrolling text.
outstanding motion picture than Robert Louis's Stevenson's
The Lion King.
Treasure Island.
Well, that's a scroll across
Produced by Walt Disney.
Disney, whose artistry marked a new era
I just
in
said
motion
that.
picture entertainment, now sets a new milestone with his first all-live action feature, Treasure
Whoa, that's cool. This is the very
The
first
story
one.
which thrilled 200 million readers throughout the world. Only
colored.
Walt Disney could bring to realistic life, and with such dramatic impact, Robert Louis
Pow!
memorable
You're
character.
dead, my boy. That motherfucker
Long
there,
John
dude.
Silver.
There were not
portrayed by
many,
that
but this
world-famous
was-
star Robert Newton.
There was color movies.
now. Then I say cut their throats.
What? You're missing it, Matt.
And I say there'll be no killing.
I'm scared of pirates. You know this.
Shipmates.
Oh, yeah, the pirate's life for
Bobby
me.
Driscoll, the 1949 Academy
Bobby
Award
Driscoll,
winner
dude.
for his outstanding
That little kid
performance in
would
The
get-
Widow and So Dear to My Heart.
No, dude,
played
no,
Jim Hart.
that's got to be like one of those
Boy
fun
who
facts.
faced a
The youngest
thousand
person
dangers.
to ever win an Oscar has to be him.
Right.
One
dude.
more step, Mr.
That
Hands.
they gave that kid an
I'll blow your
Oscar.
brains out.
Yeah, dude,
Looks
you
like a
gotta
little
watch
person.
it. Oh! Shot the fuck out that boy.
Did he get stabbed?
Squire Trelawney,
John
Captain
Goodman.
Smollett, Dr. Livesey, the murderous Black Dog, rum-swigging Billy Bones,
Did you watch this?
villainous
Yeah.
Blind Pew.
Look
I thought
that
you said
was-
you only watched 2 movies.
Shut the fuck up. This is one of the 3 that I've shown.
This looks kind of good though.
It is good. God,
It's
I just
the
wanna
world's
be on the
greatest
island.
adventure story, man.
I just want to be.
Well, the
pirates
Bible
with my boy.
might have something to say about this.
They actually based
Color by Technicolor. That's who did it.
in Technicolor.
That was actually the Red Band trailer because that kid shot that.
Got the fuck out that boy. And the next and final movie, Rio Grande.
Tonight, President Trump is issuing a rare
movie.
threat of nuclear escalation against Russia,
Get your
saying
words
that he's
out.
ordered two.
Golly,
Looks like
Trump.
the autoplay didn't respect nothing.
No, I think it like when you clicked it, it clicked right back
Rio
on.
Grande.
So this is a movie?
Yes.
So
R.I.O.
John
Yep, there it is.
Wayne,
John Wayne Gacy Grant.
Rio Grande E-trailer.
Don't worry, Chris. I'll be sure and find the red band of this one.
That's it right there, the first one.
Masters of Cinema.
Yep,
This
Masters
is a
of
new
Cinema.
and exclusive trailer.
Yes, it just came out
Never before seen.
5 years ago.
This is director's cut. Black and white
Please
wiener.
Silence your phone, please, during the viewing.
Be kind, rewind, and
Full screen, please.
yes, sir.
How did you fare on patrol?
We captured Natchez, Chief,
Look who it is.
8 others before the Apaches reached
gonna walk
Rio
with a
Grande
bit of a
and
lump.
crossed into Mexico. Pursuant to orders, I halted on our side of the river and didn't like it very much.
Shane Gillis?
And neither do I, but that's the
No.
policy, and soldiers don't make policy.
Man, they restored this
does look
nicely.
like it.
Like it looks
So
like
I've
they.
been told, sir. Well, on the official record,
Upscaled
you're
it
my
well.
son. But on this post, you're just another trooper. I don't want you men to be fooled about what's coming up for you.
He wasn't quite as confident of an actor yet, was he?
Hope you have the guts to.
Oh, he
Been
was.
around for a while. In 1950,
He shouldn't have enlisted.
Well, looks like maybe he was
I've come
never a
to
good
Jeff
actor.
home.
He signed enlistment papers. He took
Who?
an oath. I'm gonna work
Hold
this
it
out
right
now.
there, Bert.
Had concentrated 3 tribes. This means real
concentration
trouble,
tribe?
gentlemen.
I want you to cross the Rio Grande. Hit the Apache and burn them out. I'm tired of hit and run. I'm sick of diplomatic hide and seek.
I waited a long time for that.
Academy Award winner, Matt. Fucking ass.
Dude, do you know they gave a kid an Academy Award last movie, right?
Hit him. Punch him, Chris.
A man's word did anything. Even his own destruction.
Get a hat.
You think
like,
that
word
Academy
is-
Award holds a lot of weight? You want to know who else got one of them there awards?
Word is bond,
Timmy
young
down the
lady.
street.
You mocked half my fucking movie.
I'm sorry, it looks like a good
Unbelievable.
move. We can watch the trailer again.
No, turn it off.
It's okay, you can make fun of mine.
It's about a cavalryman. You don't even get it.
I do get it, because
You
I
don't
used
get
to
it.
be one.
Play your movie.
I don't work with
No, what else you got?
That's it. I showed
So
you
you
my
watched
bangers.
all of them?
Yes, I showed you my bank. I don't know why you do this with me. You watched them?
Yeah, I don't,
why-
but,
I don't
last week, okay, Mikey. Last
don't
week
do
he had some
this
movies
with
he
you.
didn't watch, and this
do
week it's
this
only
with
movies you watched.
I don't. Do
I'm
this with-
confused.
This guy's. Did you watch this? I'm about to ask your emotional state of all of these movies.
I don't like movies anymore.
Do you watch? Did you watch all these movies we're gonna see?
Actually, I did. I watched
Oh,
every single
actually,
one.
I did, implying as though I fucking didn't. There we go.
No,
Love
but
it.
I did
Actually-
want to.
Actually, Matt,
I'm just gonna
watched
I'm
these
just gonna
movies.
show a few of ones that I wanted to get around to watching.
Okay, now it's time to pay attention, people. Oh, fuck it.
There's one called The Asphalt Jungle.
The what?
Yeah,
heard it.
it's. He got duped. Matthew got duped by AI. It's not a real movie.
It's like this is on the list of the public domain movies because it's not real.
That's a solid pug. Y'all hear that?
The Asphalt Jungle.
A solid pug pats. That's like 70
It
pounds.
was a 1950 heist film directed by John Huston. So
Oh, okay.
it was like, oh, a heist movie. I think
And you watch this?
I did
saw
later
this
tonight.
movie?
I watched it later tonight.
Did you?
You've seen this film?
Have
This
you
is
tried
the
to use?
original? What's it
Isn't
called?
that the guy from Mindhunters?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I can already tell that this movie is
It's
better.
the original Mini Cooper movie.
I can already tell that
Italian
this
job.
movie is better than any movie I've seen. So
I think you might be right.
I'd like you to turn this off.
Yeah, I remember I was dreaming. I was up in that colt's back. My father and my grandfather were there watching the fun. That colt was buck jumping and pitching, and once he tried to scrape me off against the fence, but I stayed with him, you bet. Then I heard my granddaddy say, he's a real handler, that boy.
That
a
music
real
doesn't sound
handler.
like it
I'm
belongs.
proud as you please.
It belongs. It was dropped that year.
That's
That's
my
true.
old man come over and prodded me with his boot and said, Maybe that'll teach you not to brag about
The
a good
original
job.
Usual Suspects.
Give me the fucking cage, fucking cocksucker.
It's
You know
the original
something?
GoldenEye soundtrack.
One of my
Seriously.
ancestors imported the first Irish thoroughbred. into
Dude,
our
that was
Our
it
farm
looked like
was
the
in the family
general
for
for the bodily fluids.
160 acres,
This is the best
30 in bluegrass,
best
Dr.
trailer so
Strangelove.
far.
fine barn, and 7 brood mares.
Yeah, no, this actually does.
And everything happened at once.
That's cool. You want to show me up? I see what this is about
Lost our
now.
corn crop.
Hey, you know, I wanted to. I wanted to get around to watching what it looks like it would have been a pretty good movie.
Rotten year.
Like,
And
I
then
was
the
thinking
Asphalt
about-
Jungle.
I was
Come on, that's a cool movie title.
I was thinking about getting around to checking that out.
Exactly. There's no way that's original music, but that's good.
Suppose we had no police force, good or bad. Suppose we had
That's original, Matt.
just silent.
Filmed by John Huston. So yeah, Asphalt Jungle looked like a little heist movie. See, what else did I want to get around to watch? Apparently, the original Father of the Bride came out. The movie Father of the Bride that Steve Martin wasn't in 2 of them. So I guess I don't know if I think the Steve Martin one was. I guess it was a remake. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Father of the Bride, 1950. So this movie, here's another James Stewart movie, Harvey, which I think he's got an imaginary rabbit friend. Or
How
something.
old was Steve Martin when we were watching his movies? Because he looked like he
Dude,
was.
he looked that way from.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Let's see. So here's your boy Jimmy Stewart.
I'm
Another
Jimmy
movie called
Stewart.
Harvey.
Incredibly old.
I believe he's got an imaginary rabbit friend or something.
You know what that's from? It was a Saturday Night Live
that's
skit
an L.
when Jim
Yeah,
Carrey
we
was
showed
on.
it to him before. He's like, he didn't like it. He thought we were dumb for like.
I think you're dumb, Matt.
I'm sorry,
don't,
Mike.
you just out here trying to pull up better movies than I suggest.
No, this one might.
I
No, we
see.
don't know yet. This might be really.
Did you
bad.
watch this movie?
No, I'll let you know when if I watched the movie.
Did you watch this one though?
I watched The Rabbit. No, I did not. I did not watch
You'll
this.
greet Harvey with laughter.
I'm showing the movies I wanted to watch first.
How do we know? Because for 5 long years, audiences did just that on Broadway for the most talked about
See, this
Pulitzer
is
Prize
terrible.
winning comedy of our time. And now at last, Harvey.
Oh, never mind,
comes
it's
to the screen.
good.
Better, richer, funnier than it ever was on the stage. Starring James Stewart as Elwood P. Dowd, America's most amiable
Oh, I
citizen,
see what you did.
with hilarious
You
Josephine
copied
Hull
me.
and a grand cast.
You just
And
found
once
another
again, the
James
critics
Stewart
are raving.
movie.
Hey,
Says
dude, we're all about James here at this podcast. I'm going to see Harvey again and again. That's how much I love it. Somebody said that.
It says Matthew Pitts regarding the movie Tenet.
As uproarious as the longtime stage vision, said Walter Winchell.
And Hedda Hopper.
I don't know why, man, but I
Harvey
believe
has
him.
achieved the impossible. It's better than the play. That was considered impossible at the time. For the happiest laughs you'll ever have. I could use some happy laughs. See the must picture of the year? I don't even think it said must see.
I think it's a yeah.
Did you see C on there?
I don't know. I think
it
back
just
it
said
up. See the must movie
picture
of the year.
Hold on, I do have to.
And that actually might need to be our new.
Yeah! The must pick. So see the must picture of the year. They didn't check that.
Okay, but I get
They didn't have like grammar check on here.
no. Okay, I think what they're doing is but
The
it's
must see. Some says go from the must to the C.
No,
picture.
no. I don't think that. I think that it's like it could have been
It's a must.
exactly. It's a must.
Either way.
So like, whereas back then it might have
Back
made
then
more
that
sense.
made more sense. Okay.
It might have made more sense because of the
That's-
common consciousness of the way that we use
Yeah.
grammar.
After Starlet
See the
Margaret
must.
Sullivan died.
This is a must
So
on your
things were
list
called a
this
must.
year. Like.
That's
So-
got to be the only explanation because I can't see how they would have missed that.
Oh no! Other than that, yeah, it's absolutely
Winchester
ridiculous.
73
hold
is on my
Did it
list.
get? Hang on! Don't do anything. Did it get dark? Hold on, guys. There we go.
Yes, see, I actually was in here earlier and pointed it and wanted at the other one. I'm like, so you want it back? So
Chris, can you see?
it's like I can't steal from my daughter forever. The next one I got here, the Gunfighter, sounded like it'd be interesting.
Did you
'cause
watch
there's
this
guns.
one?
What's he doing, Lily?
Oh, give me this.
So this is a movie Mikey's about to watch the trailer of.
Need a mani pattern.
Mikey's about to watch the trailer for The Gunfighter, 1950. A movie I highly recommend, having not seen it yet.
Just very, very good.
Chris can.
Muy bien.
I trust Chris, even whether he's seen a movie or not. I trust his opinion on it.
I don't know why, man.
He's the gunfighter.
He only wants to be left alone. Why don't they give him a break?
He's the
What?
gunfighter. How come I gotta run into a squirt like you nearly every place I go these days?
Is that Powers Booth?
Show off
Is
to your
it?
friends?
No.
Are you ready to back up that remark or not?
It's Ryan Stewart.
Eddie don't mean no real harm, Mr. Ringo.
If Eddie don't mean no harm, then let him keep his big ugly nose out of
You
my
say you
business.
watched this?
Wait, so this is anti-Semitic?
In his gut. Gregory Peck, dude. That's the guy from,
Fine life, ain't it?
was that Gone with the Wind or no?
No, that's Clark Gable, but Gregory Peck is a name.
Not really living, not enjoying anything, not getting anywhere. Just trying to keep from getting killed.
It's like I don't want to bring up that I made it, but I want to keep thinking
And you
about it.
boys hiding curls under those hats.
Yeah, I think Winchester's 73 look better than this. They really like putting like words on the screen without any anyone reading them.
For real. The guy got no legs?
Showing the guy,
no
we got
legs.
Gene Parker in the gunfight.
Gunfighter. Come out, directed by Harry King, produced by Nunnally Johnson.
Okay, Mikey, I'm about to get to
Did you watch this next
the
one?
movie that I watched.
You watched this one.
Actually, I'll do the movie I watched all the way last. This one I still got halfway through.
Is there any chance you could make the face you were making when you watched it?
Oh, for this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hold up.
To give us the real experience?
Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Might want
This was that Patrick.
Might want to tell your
or
kids
This
to
was
look
that
away.
Patrick Swayze movie.
Matt, look at this pug.
Lily. So
Yeah, this movie's
This
about
one-
like
this one I
surfing
need
and
to get-
jumping out of airplanes.
exactly. No, but give a little backstory on this one because it's got a little backstory.
Okay.
I only came. I discovered it to want to see it because I was listening to a podcast earlier that ended, and another one that just started on its own from a different. I guess the algorithm put it in, on for me. It's not like I'm subscribed.
Yeah.
But it's A24 has a podcast now apparently,
Okay.
and so it was Bill.
They don't miss.
They don't. They hit them all. Bill Hader was interviewing Ari Aster, director of Hereditary, Midsummer, and stuff, and they were just talking like hardcore cinephiles about all sorts of. I was impressed, like Bill Hader, like he's a real like cinema film fan. Like they're talking about like that really heady, like it's more classic. I feel like than it kind of affects me being knowing about it. But they casually mentioned some director in some movie Breaking Point, and the way they're describing, they're saying something like, "Oh, he must have probably Spielberg had to have been influenced by some of the shots this director did."
Okay.
And I just figured I'd just look up the movie to try and see what it was because they mentioned Breaking Point. I look it up, and it's like 1950. I'm like, what? Okay, well, I just felt the stars line. Like I need to check this out.
Yeah.
And so, but it's just unfortunate because that was this morning that I heard it. So I'd only been able to watch half of it today. But it was for half
based
of a
on,
movie. It's probably
Ernest
the best movie
Hemingway.
you've ever seen. Yeah, it had me based on the Hemingway novel.
Some would say one of his greatest.
I mean, some would, dude. It's called The Breaking Point.
Chris, look at her.
By
That's a tired pug.
because they're mentioning the director's name. This guy I hadn't heard of. Let's see.
I didn't believe it when you told me you were in love with him.
A man can be in love with his
Like
wife.
Kurzweil or something.
Exciting, man.
Something Kurzweil. It's a good story though. It's like
They picked me up on this.
10 years, at least that. If there was
his family man. He's got this boat business that's not doing well, and kind of gets sucked into making a delivery of
What's that for?
it's illegal, trying to make money for his family.
If it comes off all right, I'll tell you about it sometime.
Yes, they say every man has a breaking point. But try to find it in Harry Morgan, two-fisted skipper in whose wake...
It's funny, Harry Morgan, that's Dexter's dad's name. Dexter Morgan.
That's funny, yeah.
who live in the shadows beyond the law.
That cockfighting ring.
The deadly threat of guns, the greater menace of a reckless woman.
No, she's reckless, all right.
Him deeper and deeper into a
I like the dialogue in the movie. It's kind of like that classic movie where it's just, I don't know, it's like really sharp-witted but dated. So it's like it's slower, but it's still, you can tell for the time it's like clever writing, you know.
Where's the money for me?
A lot of use of the word broad. Dames.
I hear you, broads.
Time without making sure about me. She's got something for me.
It's like, aren't you a good girl? She's like, yeah, let's see how far that gets me.
You try.
Now let's see the color of it, Mr. Singh.
Zip.
The rest of the money right here.
The very yellow.
Oh, you sneaky little...
Rousing action from the famous Ernest Hemingway story. The searches the sea for adventure. That searches reckless heart for romance. John Garfield, Patricia Neal, Phyllis... I don't
Baxter.
know. The Breaking Point.
The Breaking
Point.
I
love it. Could I have another... barley beer, my friend. Could I have another? I have one more beer, please.
So this last movie that I fully watched.
You watched this next one,
and it's a movie I've heard of, I've read of,
but you did
a
watch
lot throughout my life. Like as far as like loving movies and film, like it's just the title of a movie I've come across, and you probably have too, or heard or might look familiar. It's an international film, one of the early. I don't think it's his first movie, but early Akira Kurosawa film. So our Japanese filmmaker did.
You always find a Kurosawa film,
dude. So last week he did that Kagemusha.
You always find a Kurosawa.
So this is a movie called Rashomon.
Oh, I saw this one. I didn't see it, but I saw because I looked up movies from the 50s, and I was like, I don't want to read anything tonight.
Something like that. So it's. And what
it looked like something I would have to read. Do I have to read it?
Yeah, it is. They don't have English, and I feel like it would be offensive to dub it, even though somebody probably has dubbed it at some point. But yeah, and this movie, what it did narratively, as far as kind of like revolutionary, that it's. When movies do this, they say basically refer to it like as like a Rashomon like plot telling or story device, where some event happens and like part of a chunk of the movie is the retelling of it from one person's perspective, so and then like someone else goes through it, and someone else goes through, someone else goes like they're on trial or something, and someone else goes up to give their version of the story, and it's different, and it's like all these people telling this. At the end, it counts up this event, it's like
ties it all together. You
it's all more about like each of the tellings being like. Indicative or saying something about that person and the type of person they are, so where each story is more of a reflection of that individual and just the kind of person they are. But
like Reservoir Dogs was like that too.
Yeah, so like those movies that have had like
so that's what they call it.
Yeah, so Rashomon. This is the movie that really, arguably, did it first. And it wasn't from the States. Akira Kurosawa. Yeah, the first Japanese film to win the Venice Film Festival Grand Prix race.
Do you know people from Venice are called Venetians?
Winner of the Oscar for Best Foreign Film. So Akira Kurosawa. That's a guy. That's a guy. Pretty badass director from Japan.
Japon.
It's pretty philosophical. It's pretty for thinking about life. Meow. Psst, psst. There's a snake in my boots. I saw Mikey doing that last night.
You saw me?
I was watching. It is human to lie.
And the woman.
She a hoe.
Don't look at me like that.
She a hoe. That's all you need to know. She a hoe.
She's gaslighting you, bro.
It's too cruel. Beat me. She said it. She
When
said
did you
it.
learn
Kill
Japanese?
me. Long time ago. But don't look at me like that. Please. Stop. Looks like she's got a knot on her forehead. He gave her to
That's
her.
just her eyebrows.
Okay. Sorry.
Something's
That's
wrong
why
with
he's
her
looking
eyebrows.
at her like that. He's like, who did this to your eyebrows?
And now it looks like Peter Pan's in the movie. Peter Pan's trying to kill this Japanese guy.
Is he a vampire?
In the 12th century Japan, deep in the woods, on a hot summer, the searing passion of a human desire bursts into flames, a powerful tale of human conflict. Two men face off in a desperate duel. An entrancing beauty looks. Is she goddess? Crumbling corner of the Roach's gate. Human soul.
Shit.
It's so fast. The
My Japanese
Rashomon.
isn't that fast.
It's the Rashomon.
God, my Japanese is only.
There
so
you go,
good.
man. Rashomon.
Rashomon. That's actually. I know what I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm watching Rashomon, Winchester's Gunfighter. But 1950, we finally did the year, the beginning. And it's funny, the next movie is the year 2000, which is the end of our
2000.
timeline.
The end of it.
Look at that book ending. Book ending.
The book ending. And
The book ending, but so it 2000's next.
And I just so happen to have a 2000s film flick playing.
So I'm glad
here.
so you can pay attention to our conversations here.
No, it's just in the background.
Oh, Leprechaun 5. Leprechaun 5 came out this
2000.
year. Wow.
So I just got something on the background here on Tubi, our proud, not yet sponsored. They'll know us soon enough whenever we mention them a couple
when we do our
100,000.
Super Bowl commercial next Super Bowl. But yeah, 1950, man.
1950 was a good one. We hope that you come back.
The Flying Saucer came out that year, is all I have to say. And they gave not that year, but a kid that they gave an Oscar to was in another movie this year.
And he shot a pirate.
He made a
fellow.
face.
Is that your mom?
Yeah, with the Asian lady? Yeah, that's my mom.
That's Connie. She has the same haircut as Matthew's mom.
Right, well, luckily nobody fired off a live round. We do that during the break just in case we have a loss of life. We don't want it to, we want to respect each other.
Exactly. No, exactly.
I mean, people wonder why Jeff's not around anymore. They didn't realize what
Nobody brought
happened.
their red headbands this week.
I thought we weren't talking about it, dude.
I'm sorry. I miss him.
So yeah, we'll take a quick break and then we'll come right back and we'll have a whole bunch of cool shit for you. And we're back here live in studio. Yes, it is. It's not AI. It is I.
It is live, Chindogu and me.
I had notes for that Chindogu episode. I wrote
Mikey's
down.
doing. Was that first season 1 or season 2 that we did? You talked
season.
I wrote down my notes, and Matt was like, "Oh yeah, here, look," and he pulled up Wikipedia, and it was my notes. It was all my notes I had made. I had already.
Those are early learning days of Mikey.
I had already been on
Mikey's
Wikipedia.
like, I wrote all this down.
And Matt's like, "Oh, here, let me pull this up." I'm like, "Matt, I'm trying to look cool, man. I'm trying to not go to the."
He's like, "Matt, you gotta have a computer the whole time we do the podcast."
Yeah, I'm like, we should turn this shit off, man. I'm trying to fucking fuck, man.
We looked up an umbrella, wonder like an umbrella hat. Either way, we promised the listeners we would make a Chindogu every week for a year, and we've held up to that promise. we lost them all in the Palisades fire. So
Palisades.
So how are we doing, Mikey?
I had insurance.
We got out of 1950.
We're good. We got out of 1950 and we had it on in 2000.
Heading
And
on
then
to
here
2000.
we go. We've got.
Oh, you didn't ask Grey Dodd for what her picks from 50 were, were you?
I didn't.
Do you think she would have had any?
Probably.
She would have probably found something.
She probably. Yeah, absolutely. I
Bet she'll have picks for 2000. Though.
I'll ask her. What
yeah, be
2000
sure and ask
is.
for 2000.
Absolutely. We'll be like, hey, we're on a 2000. We got your other picks.
We don't have to worry about 7. We don't have to worry about it being 7. That hadn't come out yet.
That's true. So 2000, I'm sure we'll probably have a lot more picks coming from Grey Dodd on that one because that was my bad. I dropped the ball in 1950. Okay, big fucking deal.
She wasn't born yet. It was a fair honest
Neither
mistake.
was fucking I, man, or you, dude.
No, I was born in 1951, so it was close.
Yeah, that is true. You were kind of on the cusp of that. Yeah, no. So have you guys heard about this? Is actually, I'll read you the CBS News. What they said. I'm sure maybe potentially you've heard about it. Harvard scientists believe interstellar comet could be, quote, alien aircraft. We should put all possibilities on the table.
Yeah, potentially
so
hostile.
You've heard that there's a comet that's been heading toward Earth that we've been tracking, and we've been like, oh, hey, look at this object. And now they're speculating. Apparently, Harvard.
I've heard of different things, but I don't know if this would be one of the.
Didn't you see the movie Don't Look Up? Did you watch that, or did you?
So
not?
this is that? No, but
sounds like it. Harvard, again, CBS News. Harvard scientists believe interstellar comet could be a quote alien aircraft. Quote. We should put all possibilities on the table.
I just wonder if it's like the Imamamaru weird name thing, or if it's something different than that.
Yeah, I know I'd heard something in the last week or two about
like is that article like
potentially
recent, like this week?
Yeah.
Recent? Okay.
The comet known as 31/Atlas could be an alien aircraft. Quote, we should put all possibilities on the table. That it's a rock, a comet, or something else until we get evidence. The data that will tell us what it is.
It sounds like some clickbait.
Low base.
Like there's something that could be something, but
you can.
No, I'm just saying the way that article.
But it is what it is. While it could be clickbait, it is CBS News that's putting out this. Quote,
it's from
clickbait.
Yeah, it's from.
This is from one of the most credible.
Yeah, no, yes. So I'm just.
Yeah, because I had heard.
So you heard something?
Well, I had heard something in the last week or two. I haven't really paid much attention to it, but it was like
James
along
Webb
those,
Telescope involved in here.
Maybe the thing that I heard was that they're saying that there's like some potential. What they say like alien spacecraft that is potentially hostile.
So it's the
like
three-body
problem.
It's the three-body problems happening there.
So right here it says on Daily Mail exact date alien probe set to arrive at Earth as chilling warning is issued. A Harvard scientist, you know.
I'm listening. Yeah.
A Harvard scientist has issued a chilling warning about a mysterious interstellar object hurtling through our solar system and says it could spell disaster for Earth. Professor Avi Loeb,
definitely Avi
Loeb, who is well known for pushing bold and often polarizing theories about extraterrestrial life, has been tracking the object named 31/Atlas since it was first spotted July 1st. So it's been about a month of this thing just flying towards us, and they're saying that it could be.
Wait, so did they say a date, a projected date that we would be? Because I thought it teased one, didn't it?
It said that.
It might have, but like, I mean, does it really?
Next summer, coming to a planet near you.
I mean,
unless 34 Atlas B.
Unless you're set to retire next week, does it fucking matter?
Like, said we're if object is alien aircraft, this guy warned it could be carrying a probe or even weapon. He predicted that such an
there's so much.
Well, no,
the way he said, if that was that, it could be that. Like
he's saying, intercept a vehicle is reach Earth between November 21st and December 5th. 2025. So November 21st, December 5th.
Well, yeah, no, that's it's funny though
fun.
because
I'm just letting you
About-
know.
Oh
I'm
no,
just
yeah.
letting you know
Can I react how
news.
I'm gonna? I'm not reacting to you. I'm reacting to that.
Oh, I agree.
So-
I agree, but I'm just saying, like,
About-
you know, I
guy
don't
likes-
disagree. It is pretty ridiculous. It's like how okay.
Well, of course.
to
he's
say
just
that
he's saying it's a big unknown, and if it's like saying, "Oh,
it's
there could be a
Schrodinger's cat.
storm tomorrow, man. There could be a lot of hail, man. Our car, who knows if tomorrow if it hails, my car could get totaled, man. If the fire could start out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, maybe.
It's
like,
Schrodinger's cat. Until we know what it is, it's anything.
Exactly.
It can be. It can, and so
and this guy barely squeaks into
Yeah.
Harvard, starts making these claims, and he's the guy who does this.
yeah. But what's
I
crazy
promise
is
you,
that,
I met the guy. I've been talking to him for weeks now. We put this whole thing together.
But what's
sent us
funny
a
is just
video.
that, like, is that you know, it's reached national headlines to the extent that people are
do
talking
you know what
about it.
people like to look at? I don't think.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it is funny. It's
No, it is funny, but
It's
the society
just
is
the
not
fact
exactly
that-
like. It's not like.
So a week before
no, but it's
CBS might as well be the Wall Street Slimes.
a week before that came out, I remember seeing a tweet because all this Epstein shit isn't going away.
It's
And so I saw somebody had tweeted that like,
Pretty
hey
sure
guys,
Epstein's coming.
they were like, hey guys, just keep it was like keep pushing. We're about 2 weeks away. It was like just keep pushing on the Epstein thing because generally we live in a world where it's
a
like
news
things are a
cycle.
24-hour news cycle. Things go away. The Epstein stuff has like stuck around, and so like the tweet was something along
kind
the
of
lines
the UFO
of
stuff I was
well,
saying.
no, the tweet was something along the lines of, guys, keep pushing. We're about 2 weeks away from them wheeling one of the Greys out from Area 51 to show everybody.
No, Mike, I was kind of alluding to that same thing to where just, you know, whether what is or isn't real or true, just it being a mechanism that it could be used, you know, just that being a distraction itself would be, could be that. Yeah, help promote, push that, distract that, maybe get people looking at that and not thinking about Epstein or not thinking about this or not thinking about China, you know, or to where it's all just
it's
a
like
big
it's
nasty
teasing
machine.
a cat,
It's just, you
teasing
just
the
wonder
cat
how much
with a laser, what's
how much
real,
something
what's not.
is like, you know, oh, let's support that group this time. Kind of like you talk about when things are done and
Absolutely.
manipulated,
Absolutely.
it's like, oh, we just have to pull the right levers. We don't even have to actually intentionally like do the whole thing, you know?
no, it's you fucking hit the nail on the head right there with that one. No, but yeah, it's just funny that it's like it's funny that, you know, just that, like I said, it's like what hits headlines and like, you know, like what Chris was saying, it's like give it a little bit more time, keep pushing, guys. It's like eventually they're gonna wheel one of these Greys out and be like, hey guys, look,
It's like, this is
aliens
Bibble.
are real.
Like it's gonna be just like Chappelle's show. He was like he gave us he gave us technologies like PlayStation 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like
But no, it makes me think like with the whole Immaculate Constellation. Like, because I don't know if in that one documentary you mentioned if they kind of talk about the like non-organic biologics or that terminology, something of that nature, and because I'd heard something of him, I think it being digressed on, saying, you know, basically like in this, to me this makes more sense. Like if anything is extraterrestrial or you know from or UAP whatever UFO, that like it was. Seemed like of a mechanical, almost like a computer nature, like or like non-organic being like it was more like a machine than, you know, organic, and that, you know, at least in my mind that makes sense that if we're just think of ourselves, we would send a probe out that's going to get further in to a planet before we'd ever like have a human actually go there, even with like Mars and stuff or or whatever. Like we send we send a probe out to where if like we have these could be alien stuff, but doesn't mean
like,
the aliens. It could be their version of a probe.
Well, it was like when
you
we were
know,
trying
to where
to-
there's no like living.
Like
it's
we were trying to get to the moon.
It's
and,
them
like,
sending a
Russians
drone out.
Sending
It's like them
sending
because that's what you do in intelligence race. You wouldn't just show up, like knock on a door. You would like send some kind of scouting mechanism, or you know, like just like a drone or out there. So,
or something that you viewed as
like
disposable. That's why I was saying it was like during like the space race.
Yeah.
There were the stories of like the Russians sending like chimpanzees
and dogs
or
dogs
up into space just to see
it's funny you mention
how
that
the atmosphere.
I was watching freaking the show with my dad, and they were literally just talking about that.
Yeah,
like yesterday.
I had read something the other day about the dog that like
and it died
up there
and
or
stuff,
whatever. Yeah, and like how they'd found it. It was basically just like a street dog or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I was like, I want to see a dog spacesuit.
But yeah, it's like. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never really thought about that before. Where it was like anything that would like contact us would it,
like think of us like why would we wouldn't just like send a ship like we'd have technology that could go out there.
They didn't already have the technology that it was already not like that like
they weren't just like naturally able to like intergalactic travel or something like that.
So a couple of things. Like, I want to get back on this topic because I had something that me and you have kind of talked about before that I sent you audio messages about because you're right about our messages, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I heard an interesting theory about the Matrix, and it was one of my friends had said it was something he had heard, but it was they were saying that it's like that like pretty much how nowadays we all have these cell phones, right? Everybody's got a smartphone in their pocket, and we tote it around, and it's just got everybody sucked in. We all stare at it, whatever. A lot of people have extreme problems with it. Most of us always have a tendency to somewhat pick it up.
It's almost just normal life, part of being a human now, sadly.
And so they like made the correlation to the Matrix, and they were saying that it's like, okay, like our phones kind of have us trapped into this like Matrix or whatever. People talk about how social media and the internet and stuff like that is generally a Matrix. And they were saying that like in the movie, The Matrix, the one way out of the Matrix was, how did you get out of the Matrix?
Unplug.
Through a landline.
Yeah.
When you were in the Matrix, it was like you had to get out through a landline. And so it was
with the phones, they're going,
exactly. So it's like kind of
funny
in a sense, it's like
back then the internet.
When no, but where you going?
Like
when you would pick up, see where's the end with that
phone back then, it would literally
kick you
interrupt your internet connection. It would kick you. A landline would kick you off the internet back then.
And then not just that, but then too, it was like your whole. I feel like with that is that it's like what that would mean is more or less eventually. Because I even saw something the other day. It was saying something about how like millennials and certain millennials and people are kicking the smartphones and going back to older, analog exactly.
For what reason?
To stop, to be able to prevent themselves from just being sucked into like
it's doom
scrolling and shit like that.
Like
where
society's
it's like,
kind of like is a mass collective recognizing this isn't good for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Like there's a big
where it's
push
like
for
I'm
that
not using
anyway,
this shit anymore. Like I don't want to fucking have everything I do being tracked and where I go. Like every single.
I've seen a lot of stuff about.
So it's
that
like a slow correction almost.
When I've seen a lot of stuff about that recently too, where it was like people posting things like at this point, like I would be willing to pay more for a fucking washing machine with regular like buttons and dials on it that like didn't connect to my fucking phone, where it's like in the attempt to make everything so like whatever, it's like you don't realize
back to just making the most basic simple functioning version of that
like
thing.
The industrial society,
like
where you become reliant on it. At first it's a convenience and it's like this is so cool, and then it's like
it was like and that was, which is crazy that it was so accurate and so like kind of on the button. But then again, you have to remember with what he was mentioning about fucking Kaczynski's, like that industrial society, it's like the dude was a total fucking nut job. But then again too, it's like he kind of got made a nut job due to the shit he was exposed to and and the experiments he was put through. But he did have a startlingly, accurate observation in a sense of how these things that have been built out of convenience and stuff. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is that like the things that have been built out of convenience for us that eventually we start to then become a slave to, in a sense, where he's saying that it's like, you started building cities or whatever, and then it was like eventually you spread everything out to where it's like people had to have cars to get around, to where it's like you can't have a job without having a car and things like that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
And then eventually, like you have to like go work. It was like initially the car was freedom, and the car was like, we can go out, like I can go do this. But then at a certain point, it was like the car became a necessity, and when it became a necessity, it became an expense all on its own. Yeah, and that like the car was no longer freedom. The car was actually a form of like slavery, like where it was like, I have this car, I have this level of freedom, but because I have this car, now I can get to my job. Now I have to pay for the car to have, and so it's like, so initially so many things like come off as a, what do you call it? Like a luxury or whatever.
Or convenience.
It's
like we sell them as a convenience.
Or a luxury. And then it's like, and then at a certain point, it's like, so there are, like, I've thought about that before, wanting to just like get just a regular phone, to not
but yeah, that was one of the things that I was going to say, is that it was like, we got off on the tangent, but it was, I had seen recently that people were trying to get onto back to the regular old school phones, and the thing was about the Matrix is that the hard lines were the way of being able to get out of the Matrix in the movie. That's how they got out away from it. It's like they had to get to a hard line and
so
pick
like
it
get
up
a
to get out of
landline
it.
again to get disconnected from cellular technology.
Well, not just and it's not just even that. It's like, because like number one,
to
get
internet in your pocket, basically just to be separate from that.
And two, it's like, think about it. I after thinking about that, I'm like, wait a minute. You know how cool it would be now, where it's like, I'm sitting here
My
thinking,
dad still has this landline.
I was going to say, you know how cool I think it would be to have a landline at my house with a cool phone, like a nice phone that I like enjoy picking up. Yeah. And a nice chair and a table to where it's like,
use that for talking?
And I was going to say, the only
cool
people that know that phone number are the ones that people I don't want to talk to. Yeah. And to make it to where it's like, when that phone rings, I'm going to go sit down and talk.
For sure that that's not a spam, like a nice, like, dude, that's not a bad idea.
So I want to like actually have a landline to where it's like, when that phone rings, I know like, okay, I've only given this number out to a handful of people. And if I'll get
like
whatever
your own presidential
type of,
like red phone type thing.
And I'll get whatever type of box I have to get to be able to just already
like
scrub the
case and shit.
Well, I was gonna say to scrub the fucking like spam calls. Any spam call I might get already to like call forward that shit or something. But it's like,
so
I think it
MikeyandMe.com, get your Mikey and Me landline phone.
But I was gonna say that so I seen it, like I'd heard that theory, and then that got me going down the like kind of the rabbit hole, so to say. No pun intended. But starting to think about stuff like that, and it is funny. I do think that the further we go along with certain things, we will kind of come back. It's like the old saying: the more things change, the more things stay the same. And then it was like, eventually, all things
the nature of things,
all things old
become new again.
Exactly. So it's like old ways of life and old things, stuff like that. I believe it. Like, again, what we were talking about the other week: physical copies of DVDs and actual owning a DVD player and having physical copies of something.
Physical media in some way by which to enjoy it, whether it's albums, cassettes,
like
vinyls,
it's gonna be important eventually, because there's gonna be something they do, because they already did it with like Netflix in a sense, where you can't share your password.
What you should actually, it's funny because synchronicity type thing. I actually heard a story earlier this week about a woman back in the, I want to say it was like for like 10 years, because she was worried about this exact type thing, about like, things going away or being lost to the record and stuff like that. And she recorded something like 300,000 hours of television from like 1970 to 1980 or something like that. Or like it was like something crazy.
Person like herself.
Yes,
she
because she was like
she has a house full of tapes, basically.
Well, and they said that like she was even recruiting like family members and stuff like that. She would have up to like 8 TVs going in her house, at any given time, but literally was recording, like, you know, of course at the time there's only like 6-7 channels.
Yeah.
But literally recording every channel 24 hours a day.
Interesting.
For like a 10-year period. You can look it up. I just read like a short story about her online the other day, and I had never heard anything about it.
Yeah.
But like after talking about like retaining physical media and stuff like that, and like the way that we have the tendency to, I think she's long since passed away, but
when
like,
you go steal her stuff.
But either way, yeah, that lady literally like was worried about the same thing, or about like people memory holing things or forgetting things and stuff like that.
So she
and
wanted to make
it was
her own
like
document of
so
everything.
she literally, it was like
she could.
They've said like there's been like numbers that were inflated and stuff like that.
Yeah,
say
but
she could have
still.
recorded something like, you know, 750,000 hours, whatever.
That's wild,
like,
man.
but she recorded probably at least 300,000 hours of like just TV, like commercials, everything. Like
B.
just
Jones loves to scrub that. Probably.
no, yeah, and
Season
it's
of those
like
commercials.
just so that there's a physical record of it
Yeah.
somewhere, you know, so that it can't be, you know, wiped away.
Yeah, I could ramble on about some more things, but did you have something you want to get to before we still have all of our mental faculties?
Yeah, so kind of switch gears a bit, and I don't know exactly what kind of got me thinking about this specifically, but and it's kind of like a two-pronged thing, but it's starting off with the concept of mental toughness.
Okay.
Mental toughness, and then it's really not totally related, but it kind of is. But it's something I've wanted to talk about, and we've kind of, I think, talked about, maybe if not indirectly, the hedonistic treadmill, right? So I'll give a definition for these two things, because like mental toughness is something you might just you hear it and it's like, okay, you got a gist of what it represents. You could talk like, oh man, he's mentally tough. Everyone could kind of get an idea what that even means.
Yeah,
but
it may mean something different to everybody else, but like you all have a general idea of like,
exactly. But so just to give these definitions, so mental toughness refers to an individual's capacity to maintain resilience and confidence under adversity, enabling them to consistently perform at their best under stress. It's a blend of psychological resilience and self-belief that allows individuals to persevere through difficulties and proactively use adversity as fuel to achieve goals. Key components often include control, commitment, challenge, and confidence, the 4 C's. It's understood as both an inherent disposition and set of trainable psychological skills. And then the other interesting thing, it's really not totally related, but I just that the hedonic treadmill, like hedonism, but it's not like hedonism, but it's just there's a relation in the root word. But this kind of we've literally talked about this, but this is an explanation, or I guess a term around the concept, describes the observed tendency for a person's happiness to return to a relatively stable baseline level, or for a quote-unquote happiness set point, despite major positive or negative life events. It suggests the emotional boost from success, like winning the lottery, or the drop from setbacks, like an accident, is usually temporary as people habituate to new circumstances and their aspirations or expectations adjust. This phenomenon highlights that external circumstances have less enduring impact on long-term happiness than often imagined. So that's just kind of talking about, it's like you said, the example of like you win the lottery, or you really high and something amazing happens, or you get a new job or promotion or any great thing, and you're like on some emotional high, and then after some period of time that just becomes normal and you feel roughly the same as you did before that. So it's like kind of having your baseline.
If I may, with that, like just to pretty much, while I know it's incredibly like whatever in the grand scheme of things, but to pretty much say that, that's exactly right. The whole corkball thing I'm trying to do. Yeah. How long have I been talking to you about corkball and this idea of corkball?
2 or 3 months, maybe. I know you've had
every bit of it,
but for it first to be introduced into my whole, that you actually spoke to me about it, even though you probably thought about it for years. I feel like 3 months or less, probably.
Yeah, Allie feels like it's been around like four something months. Because I might have mentioned a little bit like
my concept of time is kind of, but I know it was definitely this year.
So 4 or 5 months, like it's been on my mind for like the majority of the year. And now finally, like the rubber's kind of met the road, and I'm starting to do stuff and actually just saying, you know what, I know that I have paralysis to analysis, so I'm like, I'm just going to do this, and I'll figure it out as I go, and that's going to be that.
Yeah.
And so I've resigned myself to that fact. But with that being said, is that it's like we made that prior to making that flyer the other week. It was like, that's funny. That kind of rhymed. Prior to making the flyer,
that did rhyme.
That's funny.
Completely and full on.
Yeah,
it was a full on rhyme, brother.
Yeah. So it was like I was feeling kind of like, okay, this is still just like a pipe dream. What are you doing? Like, stop being a fucking, all the negative shit was bouncing around in my head, being like, why are you doing this? You shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
This is fucking stupid. Be an adult. Do this. Why are you wasting your time? All this shit.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And then just go with the shit and ignore it. And we make that flyer. And then all of a sudden it kind of became real, and all of a sudden it was like it got so cool, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, and I felt like I was flying.
It's a whole
high.
different energy. Like, it's alive. Like,
exactly,
it's manifested in some form.
And I was like, I felt like I was on like some kind of a high, in a sense of like, okay, this is cool. I'm proving to myself that I'm doing something. This is actually something that's happening. And then it was like, before you know it, like you said, that feeling fades. Yeah, I was like, okay. And then at that point, I'm like, well, okay. Then that doubt comes back, and I'm like, well, stop kidding yourself. Are you really gonna do something?
Another
You're
set
really
of
gonna
problems arises, or not problems, but just challenges.
Exactly.
Like that. Like
just that baseline.
It turns out I have to get a permit, and I have to do this too.
And so your mind,
like maybe I kind of jumped the gun on this, and
so you go into that place of like. But then that's when I'm like, nope. Okay, so next step is this. Now I've set my sights. Now I booked this date. Now I try and get on that and if there's a problem there, whatever, I do that. It's like, so,
Exactly.
But either way, it was to all that to say that I agree, because it's like, even with, this is something that just recently happened where, like I said, it's like I created that flyer. It's kind of on this high. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. And then I came down, and now I was like, okay, now what? I made the flyer. Now I got people interested. Okay. Now it's like, now this is how, after I've been approved, this is how I organize. This is how I do this. Like, okay, there's more work to do is kind of my point too. And then it's like, with that came realizing it's, your mental, it is that like, that up and down. Like,
well, that's one of the things that I think it was something I had heard a while back, and I don't remember where I heard it from. But, it's something we all know, but like that, while happiness is a goal, like happiness is a fleeting, like, emotion. And so it's like, when you think like, I want to live a happy life, or I want to be happy. And it's like, there is no end goal in which you are constantly happy at all times.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be life things that pop up,
No, exactly.
There's things like that. And that it's like understanding, it was like, it's one of those things where, sometimes you can get down on yourself, where it's like, oh, I feel like people are happy or whatever, and I need to be more happy. I need to fucking, this, that, or whatever. But then realizing that it's like, no, happiness is like, while it may be a goal, it's not necessarily an end state or a constant state. It's a fleeting thing, that you will never reach a point where you're like happy with everything. It's like the story of Alexander. Yeah. Like the way that Alexander the Great died. Was, what was it, crying on his throne on Mount Vesuvius because there was no more world left to conquer. Yeah. Like, and his best friend slit his throat. And it's like,
dude.
No. And so it's like,
no, exactly. And like all those points.
Understanding that it's not an end state, but that it's like, it's something you have to find day to day, moment to moment. Like,
no, exactly. It's funny because I love hearing everything you guys are saying, because there's get further into kind of like what I was reading about it in depth and learning about it. So with the idea of mental toughness, There being like the 4 C's being like kind of the main. If you talk about someone's mentally tough, factoring control, like the concept of control, they take agency, like locus of control, like they actually believe that they have agency and they control what they can and they recognize what they can't control, right? But they are in control of their own life, right? And then commitment, that you're actually, it's like your cork ball, commitment, like you're choosing to be committed to this regardless of how you might feel high or low about it, right?
Yeah.
And then the confidence, right? Being confident is another component of it. So being like confidently doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Right? So you're committed to it and you're doing it in confidence. You know, like you have those voices telling you, oh, the best shifter is like, no, I'm believing this and that's all I need. Right?
I may not understand what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to the best of my ability, like do this.
Yeah, one of the really cool thing, I guess for me it was kind of enlightening, or just a concept of mental toughness that I didn't really think about, or is a challenge. Mm-hmm. Okay, so people who are mentally tough, they will intentionally put themselves in a challenging situation in order to be like more tough. So it's like intentionally doing something that's more difficult, or just like being committed to working out. Like anything to where you put yourself through some kind of adversity is actually, with the whole idea of your brain and neuroplasticity and being able to rewire itself, these behaviors actually make being mentally tough somewhat of a measurable state, a measurable thing. Like as far as it's not just they're mentally tough. It's like it's a measurable thing. Yeah, because it affects the size of your prefrontal cortex too. But I'm saying like scientifically even, to where like it's like the way people react. Like you talk about the lizard brain. Like some people they'll immediately go to the flight or flight thing when they shouldn't. Yeah. Like it's about they need cigarettes. Like they can just get triggered there. Being mentally tough, I can actually delay that from happening so easy. Yeah. And so it's just really fascinating. So it's like intentionally putting yourself in these challenging, or just in challenging scenarios in whatever form or fashion can help add that and build that.
Well, and there are ways to like to develop things like that too. And it's like there's a term called chunking, like with
that sounds so familiar.
For me, I learned it for like firearms and stuff like that. Like if you're practicing a draw stroke or something like that. And rather than like practicing the whole draw and trying to get real fast, it was like you break it down into digestible chunks. And so at first, all you're practicing is hands here, clear garment, and just practice that till you get that. And then it's like clear garment, hand on gun. And then practice that.
And that goes along with the same concept that goes into all this of giving yourself attainable, believable, attainable goals that you can accomplish. So that would be an example of, okay, I can nail this part of it. I'm not going to be able to do this whole sequence of things, but I can break it down. And if I just say this is my goal to perfect this, chunking it,
it's like what Musashi said about like it will be difficult at first, but everything is difficult at first.
So
there was something I heard. I think it was the one guy from, I know it's a gimmicky show, whatever, the Shark Tanks. The guy, the bald-headed dude. It's an entertaining show, though, man. Like the bald-headed dude.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but I know you're talking about.
He was talking about, and it was really, I think it was kind of eye-opening to me, and in my opinion, it helped me in a sense, because he was talking about like noise versus signal.
Yeah.
And he was saying that it's like your brain has so much noise, and it's like, and it's trying to figure out, okay, it's like all this noise, but what's the signal? What's the thing that I need to do?
Yeah.
And it's like with the cork ball thing, I had all this noise in my head of like cork ball, getting friends together, playing this game, this is cool, and all this other stuff I wanted to do in these other places I think it could go, and all this like all the potential I see for it. This is all the noise.
How would I manage success? How would I?
Well, yeah.
This is all the whole thing being realized at once,
and that's all the noise. But then I'm like, okay, so the signal is cork ball. So now, what do I do first? Okay. Apply to be able to rent fields. Bam. Okay, go. But it just made sense to me. It's like when I heard it that way,
the next step.
And understanding that that's the way your brain works. Like, there's so many of the, okay, I got to pay rent. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do, okay, all of this other shit is noise.
It's one step at a time.
What's the signal? Yeah. What do I need to do? How do I accomplish that? And then from there, boom, boom, boom. And he talked about people that he thought were great at managing like the signal and the noise. And he was saying it was like the best two were like Steve Jobs and fucking Elon Musk. Where it came down to like being able to just watch a person where he was able to compartmentalize what was noise and what was the signal of like, okay, this is all the stuff of what we want to do or what we could, we need to do this right now. This is what needs to happen.
And that was kind of where I'd got like what I brought up with like the chunking or whatever.
Yeah.
The bigger point that I was trying to get to is that like I had heard somebody one time talking about like, people talk about like Navy SEALs, like Hell Week buds and all that stuff. And they're always like, how did you get through that? How did you, and I heard a guy talking about it one time and he was talking about a guy that had been through it before.
Let's look forward to the next meal.
Yes. It was like literally the next meal.
That dude that I just on Joe Rogan.
He's talked about it before, but I can't remember who it was that I heard, but he was like, they're going to feed you. And it was like, you don't have to worry about making it to the next day, the next evolution, the next whatever. It's like, get up, eat breakfast, get out there, start working, and then just make it to lunch.
Just make it to the next meal. Just think about that.
And that's where it's like, I'll quit after lunch. And it's like, and then you get to lunch and it's like,
it's the same thing with addiction, like a day at a time.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but it's like, I don't like worry about not being able to drink a beer for 10 years. I'm just going to try not to drink a beer till tomorrow.
Today. Yeah, exactly.
Or make it one day.
3 days or a week. Or,
So it's all those concepts. It's kind of like things we know and understand, but so it's cool.
So
for
that's
me.
what, the
like
hedonist,
kind of understand
it. The hedonic treadmill.
Yeah, hedonic treadmill. Yeah, basically the way we automatically reset our baseline of contentness. But the interesting thing is that baseline. The baseline though can be adjusted to where like it's almost like if somebody's kind of a depressed person,
but it's always going to return to that center.
But like someone's normal baseline, like if they're just like really depressed, it'll just be that low. But things can happen to where you can get it to be higher, and so that which kind of makes sense.
You're saying slowly over time though. If I'm the type of person that I'm right here, and when I get high, I'm here, and when I get low, I'm here.
But you're going to end up. But no matter what happens, you're going to end up right here.
But you're also saying that it's one of those things that if you work at it, that your baseline could move up to like here. Over time.
Or but theoretically,
this becomes your baseline.
But obviously being ecstatically happy, not being, but it being
but you will always
a 2. It could be like instead of a 4, maybe a 6. You know.
But it's going to fluctuate.
Think about people who are just
that.
generally come across as more pleasant, happy, optimistic people.
It's almost like a heart rate, like somebody's like resting heart rate or anything like that. Everybody has a baseline for like.
And
these
something
things,
you're saying too, also to give it a name, kind of the arrival fallacy, right? So the arrival fallacy being like the belief that if once I just get that, I'll have arrived and everything will be great. Yeah. People think like, once I get the job or once I get that league going, like you get the Cork league going, and it's like, man, this is it, it's great.
Yeah,
and then
it's
after
like,
about a week or two, it'll be like,
okay, how do I?
Okay, then you come back down and it's be like, wait. What now?
Yeah.
So the fallacy of thinking that there's some endpoint where you're just going to be at some level of satisfaction,
like that happiness, that it will never be
function.
That you will always like. Yeah, eventually, what you get used to becomes your baseline, and so it's like,
dude. And then here, just as far as like trying to say maybe increase your baseline, slowly bring it higher, just to leave with some like practices or just things that you could try and incorporate that are beneficial just to have that outlook. Is one of them is practicing gratitude, which I thought this was pretty cool. So this is often called the most powerful antidote to the hedonic adaptation. By consciously appreciating what you have, for example, through keeping a gratitude journal or regularly reflecting on positive aspects of your life, you can counteract tendency to take things for granted. So it can even be like, say we went and did something together, right? And we had a great time going to a concert. Going out of our way to talk about the experience and that we really enjoyed it. Just basically rekindling that flame in our mind, the whole neuroplasticity, you can actually wiring your brain to feel better.
Yep.
You know, so
that's like what Marcus Aurelius talked about in Meditations, about how much more would you appreciate the things that you have if you didn't have them, but you don't think about, the time before you had those things. It's like now that it's just like, I got those things. It was like if they were gone tomorrow, you would want those things, like don't understand.
Yeah. Another one kind of along the same thing, savoring positive experiences. So like as they're happening, being more mindful of savoring them. But another really powerful one is introducing intentionally variety and novelty, right? So since repetition dulls pleasure, varying your activities and pleasures can keep them fresh. For instance, if you enjoy a hobby, doing it less frequently or trying new variations can prevent the thrill from fading. So, because the hedonic adaptation prevention model, it emphasizes variety, noting that engaging in different activities makes you less likely to habituate to any single one. And then, of course, making your goals have actual meaning. Some people might just have a goal to read so many books in a year or do something a year, but, be like, I want to read, books about this important thing to me. Yeah. Or like, I just, I need to lose 10 pounds, give it more meaning. Like I need to get like my health or certain levels to like give like more story and depth to it, and not just some like target.
Yeah, well, like
has no
where somebody
substance.
would. Yeah, well, when you say that, I think of like exactly like you said, somebody reading a book where it's like I set the goal for myself at the beginning of the year that I need to read 50 books this year.
Yeah,
it's like why?
Yeah,
and it's like. Well, because then I can tell myself I read 50 books this year.
It'd be better
but
give have a goal to like try and master or learn some new concept, and maybe that takes you 2 books, or maybe that takes you to just goals that have like meaning and not just some like numerical target, like the paper chase almost.
Yeah,
but so it's just it's one of those things that, and I'm trying to see if there's some pretty cool quotes that I came across. Because one of them, let's see, an Epictetus or Epictetus. It is not.
Was a slave.
It is not things that disturb us, but our opinion about things.
Yep.
So that's a great quote. And then Marcus Aurelius, "The obstacle is the way." Oh yeah, this was another thing. I'm glad I remember. Is cognitive reframing of events. So basically, we talk about perspective, like being able to see the silver lining, kind of in a way to speak. But there's this one guy, I don't remember if he was some like known doctor or whatever, but I love this. Like he'd talk about whenever, like with his kids as he's raising them every week, he'd sit at the table and he'd be like, "So tell me, what did you fail at this week?"
Yeah.
Because if you didn't come to the table with a failure, then you didn't actually try anything.
Test yourself.
You didn't try anything new. So having failures is like, it's good. Like people think of failures and they're afraid of it. It's like, no, that's like celebrating the concept of a failure, because that's a required step towards growth or developing or just, expansion. And so that's, like the obstacle is the way, that's like, for me, that's how I kind of read that. Like
it really
failing,
is a good way of interpreting.
Yeah, by like that the problem, that's actually the way towards like its improvement or just betterment.
Yeah, and like a lot of like the problems that are put in front of you oftentimes are like gifts that, in the fact of like, they teach you so much and you learn from them, that, okay, this is how I do this, and this is how I get better, and it's like...
Yeah. Sarah Blakely's father, so I don't know Sarah Blakely, but what did you fail at this week? So, like, I really like that. I want to incorporate that with the little lady. Let's see if there's any... But yeah, that's kind of like, thing was on there. Keep going.
That was kind of honestly, like, the recurring theme in books like the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius or like the Discourses of Epictetus is like, it's not the thing that upsets you. It's like, it's your opinion of the thing. Yeah. And that it's like, the thing is just the thing. It's like, it's the value or whatever that you place on it. And then Mikey could probably tell you a bunch of the same stuff with like Zen and like the Eastern stuff, where like they say a lot of the same things, that it's like, you know, a thing happens, whether it's good or bad, is like, that's the judgment you place on it based on, you know, yourself in that moment.
Yeah, like what you're saying right now is making me think of the story of the monks that were crossing the river, and there was as they crossed the river, there was a lady that was also trying to cross and go to the opposite side, and she was like wading through the water, and it was hard, and she like, the stream was like almost going to sweep her away. And so one of the monks went over and picked her up and carried her to the other side and put her down, and then walked back across the stream and waded through the water and got back to the other side with the rest of the monks. And all the other monks, when he rejoined them, were looking at him like shocked and stunned.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were like, he looked at him and he's like, what? And they're like, you know, you've just broken the 13th or 14th precept. Like, you're not supposed to touch a woman or whatever. And he was like, or something like to either touch or lust after a woman or something. And he was like, yeah, but I left her on the other side and you're still carrying her.
Yeah, like you're still thinking
like,
about like whatever perceived sin you think I committed. Like,
yeah,
I helped her out and put her down.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like a way of being able to compartmentalize in your brain too, about leaving, like what Chris said earlier. He's like moment to moment. It's like if you can just do that, and two, it's like
inch by inch.
Realize it's like life's a cinch, and it's like, you know, just realizing that while these things hurt you and these things suck, it's like you really do. As stupid as it sounds, you're only alive this one time, and you only have so much time you should waste on certain inconveniences and certain problems. And it's like, if you can be better at compartmentalizing, it doesn't mean to be less human. Be human. If something sad happens, grieve
and
it.
even more than that, to have change your perspective, like have a different, adopt a different perspective about what.
Yes,
it's all even happening.
And exactly,
you know?
stop, like, because a lot of times, like with what we were saying, it's like our perception of something, and we put a certain stigma
Perception
on certain
becomes
things.
reality.
Exactly, and we think, okay, I'm trying to get people together next Saturday for Cork ball. What if I rent the field and only 5 people show up?
Nobody wants to hang out with me.
Or only a couple. I'm hum ho, and I'm not gonna. No, fuck that. If I do it and it fails the first time, okay.
But it's even feeling like you do it and 2 people come out, then it's like, hey, that's awesome. I did that, and I got 2 people that shown they're interested in it.
Exactly,
and that's like the cognitive reframing,
rather than
AKA
I sent 30 text messages. You know, it's like, no, 2 people showed up.
And realizing too that it's like, yeah, okay, it wasn't. Why do you think it's gonna fucking happen like that?
Yeah.
Why do we always think that everything's just gonna
that's
be bam,
where
there it is.
Mental toughness, commitment. The commitment
and understanding it's okay. It's gonna take a while. Anything worth time is gonna take a while.
Well, we've
I know we're gonna like the podcast. We're gonna get over 100 views eventually.
Yeah,
you know,
eventually 100 people will see us.
Yeah, we will.
Well, I call back to the phone thing. It was like we literally live in an instant gratification world, and so it's
Chris
hard
is
not
just
to
a material
carry,
girl.
It's hard not to carry that
world.
over into other aspects where it was like you do something and it's like, okay, like I need the dopamine hit now. I need the it's
and that's
like,
just the danger of being hardwired in one area. It affects just your brain because in all areas, you know. But yeah,
we've been rolling. Is that all you got?
Yeah. I think that's really the gist of it. You know, is just thinking about sort of thing because it's the thing. It's like it drives me. It doesn't drive me crazy, but until it really doesn't actually drive me crazy. It's like when you can tell people this sort of information and it's really powerful, but you can't make them actually adopt it or incorporate it. And for a long time, it used to drive me crazy. It'd be like I'd tell, say, maybe my wife something, and it'd be like, look, no, like you're being a certain way. If you have this perspective about it, but it's like she knows like all this stuff about just being doing these things, and she's just as an example. I'm not saying she's any of that stuff, but be like, you know what? All I can do is share information and be an example and live that way, and not let be driven crazy by the fact that people don't actually listen to it, and it's like the Bible, it's like the truth. It's like I can't make you believe it, but it's just powerful, man.
I think that a lot of that comes down to as well. It's funny you brought the Bible up. I think it comes down to people's ability to. It's like everybody has an idea of something in their mind, and so as soon as you start to unfortunately the way our minds work, as soon as I hear you start talking about anything, my brain automatically starts running into where I think you're going to go with it, or I start running into preconceived notions.
Yeah, but preconceived notions.
Of like what I think this is. And so it's like when I hear you or somebody say like, oh, this is how you just do this, your brain shuts off and it goes into, okay, my friend read some fucking self-help shit, some whatever, one person's opinion, rather than realizing in an instances like this where it's like, no, this is the way our brains operate. This is the human emotion.
Yeah.
This is how to navigate.
This isn't just something to know about. This is like actual life application personally.
Understanding that, like, look, okay, yes, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm probably going to be like, I don't want to get out of bed. Why should I do any of this? That's fucking stupid. Is me really doing this? What's it going to lead to? At the end of the day, I'm just going to be here. And it's like, you know what, though? But it's like you keep doing it, you change your mindset, and you realize that, like, no, okay, instead of looking at it that this is like, what's it all going to be worth? I'm going to have to do, you look at the total picture, I'm going to have to do all this. Look at all these mornings I'm going to have to get up early and do all this just to get here, rather than make it to breakfast.
Yep.
Make it to lunch.
Make it to the next meal.
Make it to dinner.
Yep.
Like, get up and just get your coffee.
Well, and
get your coffee and do this.
Well, and it's one of those
Seriously.
things too. Like when you talk about like telling people things or whatever, and it's like it's not that people don't hear you. People hear like the things that you say, but like the thing is, it was like it's not until something becomes real to somebody that they start to like go back to those things. It was like that's literally where the
Like
phrase
AI.
like leading a horse to water
Until you had
which
your
can't
AI
make
moment.
it drink. Well, no, like the thing that I always think about that like Mikey told me about before was like you and the ex, where it would like
X-Pac?
Yeah. And where there were things like that I would say, and it's like, no, it's not, you know.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it was like things, you know, became issues like down the road and stuff. And it was like, and then later on, he was like, bro, I just really like, I knew like what you were saying, but in those moments, I didn't necessarily like see it like that.
Yeah.
But then looking back, you're like, oh my God. And it's like, I've had so many moments like that, like throughout my life where people have told me stuff and you're just like, okay, dude, like, whatever. Yeah, I know. And then at a certain point, it becomes real to you, and you're like, oh my God, but like, that's why I say too, like, don't stop telling people, because at a certain point,
it's going to be
like
the time
that
for them to
information,
hear it,
like that information is in there. And then at a certain point, like if the ground is fertile, like what it talks about in the Bible about like casting the, you know, the seed on the different types of ground, you know, it will take in time, you know, and it's like, it's just one of those things.
That's a good point. That's what it takes, the commitment to recognizing that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're saying that, because I can think to be lazy, be like, I'm preaching to the choir almost.
No.
You know, to where
and
it's falling on deaf ears.
I'm guilty of that a lot too.
Right, but it's like,
well,
no, I need to. It is. You're right, but I need to keep. I need to keep speaking the truth, speak truth to power, and whatnot. You know, because
or just, you know, it was like, or even just
what you
know,
believe in.
Yeah, or even just it's like that other saying too, where it was like, I no longer voice my opinion to change people's minds or whatever. It was like, I say what I think, or I say what I believe, just so that if there's somebody out there like me, they know they're not alone.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And stuff like, you know, where it's like,
yeah, man.
So yeah,
it's good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
I was gonna say,
good chat.
We're about to
kick you guys out.
Before we wrap up and do the recommendations, it was like there was something we said, or we were talking. I don't know. It made me think of it, and I know
you're doing your rosary beads again, aren't you?
Our talks about what's it called?
Mothman.
No,
UAP.
Yeah, about UFOs and UAPs, and
the Black Knight Master Man,
about how like eventually it's like, and I know we've talked about it a little bit, but it's like eventually how long is it until we have to go, or do we get to the point where we realize that some of this stuff that I feel like we have been calling aliens and UFOs and all of this, we've all been looking at this as just extraterrestrial, big-eyed, little bitty gray beings for so long. And it's like, almost, I think it feels like it's getting to the point where it's like, as crazy as it may sound to some people, where it's like, this almost doesn't even seem as plausible. And not just that, but it's like, what seems more plausible is a lot of the stuff you've read in the Bible.
It's of a spiritual nature.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Like-
you heard that Tucker Carlson interview that one time. It's almost sound like whenever that UAP stuff was going on, or like last fall.
Probably him talking to Cernovich.
He was talking to somebody to where Tucker Carlson sounded like that's basically kind of what the impression I got from him, that he was like that it's like it's something spiritual.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Yeah.
I think it was him and Mike Cernovich talking about it. Like, but yeah, well, it's like what does it talk about in the Bible? It was like, we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and things not of this world.
Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just I feel like the further it's I talk about it from the standpoint of just a curious conspiracy theorist, where it's like I've gone down all the different rabbit holes. I've grew up religious and going to church and everything, and then I went down the different rabbit hole of like Eastern philosophy and all of that, and taken my own path through different things, and it's like. Eventually it gets to the point where when you consider all these things, it's like, okay, y'all are just, it seems like you really don't know any more now than you knew in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it's either that you don't know shit or you know a lot more and you're trying to continuously keep everybody in the dark and not know what the actual fuck is going on.
As a tool to be a distraction when you want.
Because
there's
think
actually
about
something
that.
true behind it.
Think about that.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden overnight the largely, because what if most people have, it's been so popular for so long to mock the Bible and crap on Christianity in the West. It's so stupid and all this.
Well, it's
and then it would go against so many. It would be a fucking problem for so many people if they were to admit that, like, hey, there's a lot more truth in this, and it can explain a lot of what's going on now.
I really love and appreciate about Joe Rogan, man. Because my recommendation is already going to be to, when I get to, it's going to be to check out that podcast with him talking to that Chad. I think it's Chad Wright, whoever it is.
He's a former Navy SEAL.
Yeah, the former Navy SEAL, like an ultra marathon running.
His channel is, I think, the 3 of 7.
3 of 7. Yes, yeah.
Which is funny. Does he go into what the name of that means on his thing?
No,
I like to think. Dude,
I'm saying,
it's
he even
the
talks about what he doesn't
becoming
get
a
to.
perfect being.
But
like 7 being the perfect number.
He literally is basically given like a 2-hour testimony about his faith in the Bible and talking about just so many for me. That was really interesting because he was talking at one point about just the fall of man, right? Even in the Bible, because you think about that, and then just before the fall of man, our bodies, and this I believe too, like they were death and disease and all came about because of sin, right?
Yeah,
and it's because I won't go so long in this, but I did some article on Tech Gadget Hub a little while ago. I think I sent it to you. Didn't like the nature
you
of
and
evil.
I talked about it. Yeah.
Nature of evil, but just because I was really going deep down, because I do believe the Bible, so it's like whenever man fall and the knowledge of good and evil happened, that's whenever sin enters the world. Then that where you wonder where did disease and all that stuff come from. So it's in my mind it's just trying to reverse engineer from where we are now with all just looking at it from a disease standpoint, from our bodies dying, breaking down, and not just dying but having disease things go wrong on a cellular level, to where that came from the knowledge of good and evil. That came from, I guess, our brains opening up and knowing, I guess, about the potential of that. I don't even know, but it's, I almost feel like it's like we learned that this is possible, and just knowing that it was possible made it actually happen to ourselves eventually.
The placebo. It's like the placebo effect, or like that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And that once you understand that this thing exists, then your brain goes to the, oh my God, do I have this? And then you think this, and it causes it to manifest within your being.
That being almost like a way. So, like how we're made in the image of God, how amazing we are, our bodies and what we're designed and what they can do, to where whenever things happen miraculously, to where it's like it is God, but it's like it also like it could be like God. We are wired to our bodies to actually be able to manifest that stuff in itself through God's what He made us to be able to do, and whether it's like something being evil, triggered, or faith, or God coming out, but just it's like all in the design of us before we fell, and then all, you know what I mean? It's like it's I don't know, it's wild, but they were kind of talking about that loosely, like within it all, just because when he was talking to Joe Rogan, this Chad Wright guy, and just how open like Joe just listens, and it seems. It's crazy. It was so cool to see him have that platform. You need to check it out. Just like I'm saying, the way he's so I'll earnest and passionately talking about this, like a dude just like almost like it's like a guy sitting there like really just basically witnessing to somebody who's like interested in what they're saying and giving them a chance, and just being like, man, millions of people are gonna be watching this, and regardless if Joe believes it or not, like this is. It's such a powerful thing, man. Like, no, dude, your dad needs I'm gonna get my dad to watch it. It's pretty wild, man.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean stuff like that's. I mean, I love it, man.
It's what it's all about, man. We can't forget that at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
So that would be your recommendation.
Yes, start a podcast.
Go watch that podcast.
No, check out the episode. Joe Rogan, Chad Wright.
Okay.
Got to be Chad Wright, but yeah. Sorry, I know I went on for a little bit there, but there's different things that have been on my mind. It's like,
we're here for the whenever they come back. What we're doing is good conversation, and that's good conversation. That's stuff that people want to know. It's we definitely want to send people to
whether they want to or not,
and let them know where they can find other good information like we like to listen to.
Sorry, I get to it this way, JR. But yeah, what about you boys?
My recommendation of the week is going to be
Chad Wright. Episode 2358.
My recommendation of the week is going to be stretch. You need to stretch. You need to do lower back, hamstring, Achilles, and upper back, glutes. Yeah, you need to do all.
You got to release those videos showing examples of how to do these. Right?
I could sure, if you'd like me to, if you think that'd be helpful.
Believe it or not, that actually would help a lot of people, because I think a lot of people don't know how to stretch properly.
I think you should do these basic stretches, because it's like I used to do Systema and Aikido, and I was doing both of them. Like I would do
the
Aikido.
School, right?
Yeah. I was doing both of them twice a week. So I do Systema twice a week, and I would do Aikido twice a week. Technically, I do Aikido 3 times because I do it on the weekend.
While shooting the movie, you had a lot going on this time in your life, Mikey.
But it was either way. I was doing those things, and Systema. There was a lot of stretching before a class we would do, and same with Aikido. There was an emphasis on stretching and warming up before we do your exercises and your go through your different techniques and stuff like that. But over the past few years, I have not done any of that for a long time, and recently, especially today, I was like, I need to stretch, and it's like it's been on my mind a lot, and I started doing it, and today I did it again.
How long
and
do
it
you
was
stretch
like-
for when you do it? Like, what's a stretch session?
So I
like in the morning when you
lay
get up
on my
type thing?
back. Like, no, I did it before I came over here. Like after I got out of the shower, because it's like I went and worked today, and then that's kind of one of the things. If you look up stretching, should you stretch before running or should you stretch before doing the
there's
workout?
not the definitive.
You're gonna find all kinds of different information. You're gonna find different schools of thought that tell you one thing or another. But I think
being a runner, I know because I've looked up. I was like, "What? Okay, there's literally like every side of the thing. People have like arguments on."
Exactly. I think the best thing you could probably do is, if anything, a light stretch. But it does seem beneficial and important to have your muscles and body warmed up to an extent to where they can stretch to a further range of motion.
And that just makes sense scientific logically. You think if something's warmed up, it's going to be able to do this better.
But also at the same time, if your fucking hamstrings feel tight, you don't have to go run a mile before you stretch them.
Yeah.
Fucking lay down and fold in half and try and grab your feet, straighten your feet up, point your toes to the sky, and try and stretch.
Apply common sense to what,
but I do
caveman brain.
think
Just
that
think, I need to stretch this. Just go ahead and do it.
I do think that it's okay
stretch
to
it
just do that.
the level
like,
that feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, you don't,
because I've talked
it till you feel pain. Like,
I've talked to some people about stretching, and it's like they've been, you need to warm up, you need to do it, and it's like, I don't need to do half a fucking workout routine before I stretch. Like, you should just stretch.
I hit
like
the sauna for about 30 minutes first, and then I get there.
Most of what I've heard was like, it was like one of those things where, like, before you work out and stuff like that, don't necessarily stretch. Like, there's things you want to do to like warm up, get like the blood flowing, but you don't want to do a lot of like static stretching before you go lifting weights, stuff like that. It's like, generally from what like I've understood is like, after your workout stretch, because it's like, to me, it always made sense in my mind is that like after your workout, your muscles are going to be tight. They're going to be fucking like drawn up. And on top of it too, you have the lactic acid build up, all of those things. And so it's like stretching out the muscles after you work out helps to lengthen the muscles. That helps to dissipate the lactic acid, helps to break down that soreness, stuff like that. But like Mikey said, it was like there's, if you watch 10 different videos on like when you should stretch, it's like you'll get 10 different responses. But yeah, regardless of when you do it, stretch.
So that's your recommendation, Chris?
No, my recommendation would be look into the discourses of Epictetus, because that was one of the quotes on here was from Epictetus.
Yeah, it was.
And
you familiar with the guy?
Oh yeah, very. He's like a Stoicist or whatever, like Marcus Aurelius. Like those are like two of the ones that are like, when you talk about Stoicism, you talk about Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, which all Meditations was a diary that Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself. Like, it was never supposed to be made public, whatever. It was just like, and that's what's so neat about it, was like, that was basically just like shit he wrote to himself. That's like, crazy. That's the wisdom of the fucking ages. But, which is awesome because it's an incredible book. And just like you said with like the Bible, it's like, if you live your life by like the tenets in this book, there's no world in which you won't be a better person.
Yeah.
The discourses of Epictetus are neat because they weren't like that. Like the discourses of Epictetus was a slave. And the discourses, you can find it on YouTube. There's like, they're on audio. Like you can listen to it on audiobook. But Epictetus didn't write the discourses. He had like a friend who was just basically like, yo, I got this homeboy Epictetus. He says this crazy shit all the time. He used to be a slave. Like, and he would, and so
like,
literally
write this stuff down.
No, Epictetus didn't tell him to.
This
dude was like,
go listen to this guy talk. Right,
this dude saying down. Yeah, no, this dude was just like I'm just going to follow my homeboy. I'm going to follow my homeboy Epictetus around, and he doesn't. I don't even know that Epictetus knew that he was writing it down. It was just like Epictetus would say shit
like
to
this
people.
is an enlightened cat. We're going to start writing it down.
This dude would just write it down, and so that was so. When you listen to like the discourses of Epictetus, it's still Stoicism. He was like, there's a lot of like overlapping principles between that.
But it's
Marcus
not a journal that was written to oneself in the same way that
Epictetus did not sit down and he was not sitting down and being like, and when you face trouble, blah blah blah. It was like him getting in an argument with somebody else and like telling them you're an idiot and here's why. But it was like imparting the wisdom of the ages from somebody who had been a slave.
That's
prior
cool,
to
man.
it, and so all throughout the book, he refers to himself as slave. Like you'll read it, and I
definitely want to check that out, man.
But
That's
yeah,
cool.
the discourses of Epictetus, like it's on YouTube. There's several audiobook versions.
So you check out that Chad Wright JRE. Check out the Epictetus.
Yeah,
and then
Matthew got it
but
right.
do a little stretch.
Stretch out before you do all that. While you're listening, give yourself a good stretching, or your girl.
Mikey, you're so blue. You're so cruel. You're so.
I'm sorry. Well, there's only one thing left to say to you, my ladies and gentlemen. We love you and
we sing you.
Illuminati signal.